what's shaking, what's happening? Welcome to episode 132 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. My name's Dave McRae, coming to you live from the VoiceMann Studios in Toronto, Canada. He's Tony Michael in Atlanta, Georgia. And today we have a very special guest, Tyler Cornell. What's going on, Tyler? One of our great Indiegogo backers for It's Me, Billy. We're watching Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! We are live, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, November the 15th, 2021, 6:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this Friday, now we've watched this before. You do not need to adjust your television sets. You do not need to, this is not deja vu. We have watched this movie before, and I believe it was in February of 2020, so it's almost been 2 years. But we are here to watch it again. This was Tyler Cornell's pick. Tyler is our fourth out of 5 Two Dudes backers who picked up the Two Dudes perk on the Indiegogo campaign for It's Me, Billy. And I want to thank you, Tyler, for doing that, dude. Sincerely, it means a lot. And you were a big part of making this film a reality. So thank you so much for doing that sincerely. Really, really appreciate it. Tyler, this is your favorite Friday the 13th movie, right?
It certainly is, yep.
Yep. Now, why is it your favorite Friday the 13th movie?
I honestly have the most fun with it. It almost reminds me of Scream. I always like how McLaughlin kind of directed it. It's kind of like tongue-in-cheek humor, all that kind of stuff. Direction, editing, the characters. I like Tom Matthews is my favorite. Tommy Jarvis. I love the Jason. I think CJ Graham does really good. I just like the overall atmosphere of it. It's just kind of like, it's like I said, campy, but like it's still Jason is very serious. It's funny, but not like Freddy Krueger, Freddy's dead, making fun of him or anything like that.
Right.
So it's very, I always have such a good time with it. It's not, I like 4, but 4 is a little bleak. So when I want to have fun, I always go with this one. This is definitely my comfort Friday the 13th. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. And Tony, I forget, where does this fall in your favorite Friday the 13th movies? Is it your favorite? I don't think it's your favorite. Is it your favorite?
No, part 2. Dude.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Dude,
that's right. Oh my God. Dude. Oh my God.
What? Favorite?
Epic failure. Epic failure. Epic failure. By the way, for our viewers tonight, I have one side of my headphones off. I'm waiting for a package to be delivered from Amazon, and they said between 5 and 10 tonight. I've instructed them to go to the back door, the basement door, because obviously I wouldn't hear it. So it's possible that I might hear a knock, and I'll have to excuse myself. But I have this really fancy little "be right back" thing that pops up on the screen. Ooh, isn't that exciting? But just to let you know if I have to, and it won't take me long. It's like 5 seconds. It's not a big deal. I just want to let the audience know that I haven't disappeared and I'm not taking a crap. Anyway, so although it might be a good opportunity to do that. So that's right. Friday the 13th Part 2. What the hell is wrong with me? What is wrong with me?
But I will say,
yeah.
She may not be Amy Steele, but Jennifer Cook is my number 2 Friday final girl. You can bounce a quarter off that ass in this movie. She looks so good. Yeah. Megan,
now, wasn't it you?
This movie's number 3. It goes 2, 1, and then part 6 for me. That's my top 3 Friday films.
What are your top 3 Friday films, Tyler?
6, 4, and 2.
6, 4, and 2. Interesting.
Yes,
Interesting.
Big part 2 fan. I like Ginny's my favorite final girl too. So we have.
For me, it tends to go in order. I'm kind of like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 guy. It's really, it is. It's kind of in that order.
It's always surprised me that you guys don't like 4 as much as a lot of other people.
Yeah. Oh, I do love 4, but I think as I've gotten older, I've said this on my channel. I'm a big fan of the original. And I know not a lot of people are for a variety of reasons, but I just think there's some really cool tension in that movie, and there's some things that are not that great either, like actually murdering murdering a real snake. Was that necessary? Now that I know that that's a real snake, I actually feel bad. I can't watch
you're
that
talking
scene.
about the first Friday?
Yeah. I'm like, you really had to fucking kill a real snake?
We had it on the other day and we got to that part, and I told them that. I told like my family that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a real snake. And they're like, wow, that's not cool. Like,
No.
1970s late 70s, early 80s filmmaking.
I know. It's like,
They weren't
geez, it's
thinking
just
back
awful.
then. Yeah.
It's just awful. Awful stuff. Let me just put this thing on mute here. So, yeah. Okay. Now, when was the first time you watched Friday the 13th Part 6, Tyler?
Oh man.
Last week. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Actually, it was yesterday. The first time, the first memory I can have of it was probably elementary school. I honestly remember it was like a snow day. It was one of those where we went to school, and then we got out early because they're like, there's a big snowstorm coming. So we were like, okay, after we get out of school, we're gonna go rent some videos because we're gonna be stuck inside. And I remember that one being the one that stuck out, like the cover, Jason Lives, the big hockey mask, the gravestone and all that. And I was like, let's get that one. And so we got that. And I think that's right around the time. Might have been like 6th grade-ish, but.
I thought you were about to say, it might have been around 1960. No.
It was 1966.
Oh, it didn't exist then. This is no doubt the fan favorite of the, well, I mean, I think 4 is as well, but this has that sort of fan favorite kind of vibe. I guess it's safe to say that maybe it's the Elm Street 3 of the Friday the 13th series, perhaps. Because Elm Street 3 tends to be the fan favorite. It's the Halloween 4 maybe,
yeah, I was
of the Friday series. And I do like this movie. I do like it, but I've never liked it as much as I have liked the first 4 films. There's something about the first 4 that just feel, I don't know, it's just more Friday. I think it's sort of the tongue-in-cheek nature of Part 6. There's a little bit of a wink and a nod throughout the movie, which of course is intentional. It's like that on purpose. It is noticeable the transition between the sort of more rotund Jason and CJ Graham. It's kind of like, what happened? He suddenly got ripped between one scene to the other. I get it.
If I could have glutes like Jason in this movie, are you fucking kidding me? Shit.
It's true. Edwin sort of says, sorry, Dave, but you wrote The Shining as the movie you're watching in the description. Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Hey, you did. Oh, shit.
Thank you very much. That shouldn't be, I wonder why that's like that.
We just want to make sure you guys are paying attention. That's really what we're doing.
Yeah, I wonder why that's like that. Let me go and change that right now. 1 second here. If anything, then watch Friday the 13th. There we go.
I think I was around like 7. Yeah, I was 7 when I watched the Friday 1 through 6 with my grandfather. Because I've shared that my grandfather was a huge Friday the 13th fan. So when he knew once I saw Elm Street and that I was totally locked into horror movies, he just sat me down. He's like, enjoy. And I did. But I've always been, connected more with Part 2 and
very cool.
Movie. But 6 is just like you said, it's the Elm Street 3, Halloween 4, the MTV fun, don't take itself serious. It's my backyard, which I love. I mean, literally, it's like,
that's right. It was shot in your neck of the woods.
Right. Yeah. Right up the road, not too far from. I was just there like a week ago. I took another couple of Sackhead Jason pictures on the campgrounds. I swear those people are like, dude, again? Another one? Yes, I need more. Come on.
Mask guy again? Come on.
No, well, they as soon as they see me pull up, they're like, come on. Because I've been there so many times doing photo shoots. Now that the park rangers are just like, oh, go ahead, just don't break anything. Like, I got it. So.
But what's cool about that, though, is that because you're going so often, you're developing a really good relationship with them.
And a
And
trust that, like,
that's right.
hoping,
That's
like,
what I mean.
if I could ever get, you know, the funds to do a Friday fan film, they would
Yeah.
totally trust
That's
me
it.
there. And, you know, that's a good thing. You're right.
That's it. Tyler, you don't have to be specific for obvious reasons, but whereabouts are you in the U.S.?
I'm in Pennsylvania. I used to be over in Pittsburgh, which I love. I'm a big Steelers fan. Just kind of love the city and all that. But now more in the northeastern part of the state.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you're not that far from. I mean,
no,
geez,
about 4.5.
Yeah, I could.
Is that like Amish country?
No, surprisingly not. No, I'm more like, if you guys seen The Office, it's like the Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area. All that kind of stuff. So,
okay. All
yeah.
right.
So
Well,
nothing.
isn't the Amish in like somewhere in that part of the
Like,
region?
well, I think it's kind of a little south of us. It's like Lancaster and all that, which is like an hour and a half drive from us. But
Very cool.
yeah, not Amish.
Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
You wouldn't be here right now.
I got my coal stove computer going here.
Yeah, he's why that's right, the wood burning computer. Are you ready to watch this, folks? In the chat room, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. In case you're just joining us, we're almost at 100 viewers here. No, that's not deja vu. We have watched this before, but this is Tyler Cornell, one of our Indiegogo backers who picked up the Two Dudes perk on the Indiegogo campaign for It's Me, Billy. And we cannot thank him enough, of course, for helping to make the film a reality. So he is here. He is our guest tonight. And we are paused 4 seconds into the movie. I'm watching it on YouTube, and 4 seconds in for me is the Paramount logo is up on the screen with the stars around the mountain, but it doesn't say Paramount yet. That's where we are. So we'll give a couple of seconds for those in the chat who are watching live with us to get that set up, and then we will do the countdown and get this movie underway. This is going to be good. Is this your favorite Jason as well, Tyler, or?
No. I've always said that my favorite Jason is definitely Final Chapter, Ted White. I've always thought that he was the scariest of all of them, really. He's very menacing and just he seems so angry in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's just so mad at everybody. And I always love the way that he portrayed. I love the makeup in that one too. That's Savini did for the end face reveal and all that. So Mask is really cool. They don't really show him until, like, they show him in little bits and parts and all that, and I always like how they kind of kept him a mystery until the end a little bit. So
right,
yeah,
I got you.
Ted White. But CJ's up there though. I like him. He's kind of a little imposing figure.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I mean, CJ could still play him now, I think, if he wanted to.
Oh yeah,
I think he could. All right, folks, here we go. Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Paramount Pictures presents. This is the. Oh, that's right. He's resurrected with lightning, isn't he?
Yeah. I was gonna say, do you guys like this resurrection, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, by this point in the series, when you're at the 6th installment, I mean, this is really where Jason becomes like a zombie, I guess, in a lot of ways. Like the sort of like it's, you know, the fact that he can be resurrected from the dead. I mean, I know there's weird things that you have to kind of figure out in the, you know, the first 4 films, like, how is he a man now? I thought he was a boy. Did enough time go by? How did he survive? I know there's weird things like that, but this is like, we actually see this. He's resurrected by lightning, and that's kind of, you know, I mean, I think at this point in the series, 1986, right? It was 86, 87, 86?
86.
86, yeah. I think, yeah. You know, it is what it is.
Well, and plus Tom wanted to go, the director, he wanted to, you know, there are some winks and nods to some Gothic stories like Frankenstein, the whole lightning striking Jason.
That's true.
He said that in several interviews. You know, that was his, you know, beyond just some of the other things that you see throughout the movie, that was his vision with this and where he wanted to go.
He's always said that.
I mean,
we would watch it in black and white because that's how he, like the old Universal monster movies. He thought if you could watch it like that, like.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd actually be kind of cool, actually, to watch this film in black and white. It'd be very interesting. It probably would take on a whole different tone.
Darren from the Slaughtered Lamb says it's better than the dog pissing on Freddy. That is true.
Yes. Mhm.
It's true.
That is true. That is true. I would take resurrection by
Now,
lightning
this is a
over
set,
dog
by the way.
urine.
This is not, even though they do film at the Georgia cemeteries here, and I've shared photos of that, I was wrong on this opening sequence, that the opening sequence here is a set. That's not the cemetery. Because I kept looking, like I kept looking on my phone, like, okay, where the fuck is this location in the cemetery? Then I found out later on that in this opening sequence, this is a stage.
Right.
Or a set.
It makes
But
sense.
when they chase him through the cemetery later on,
Right.
that's in Georgia. That's in Madison.
Right,
Georgia.
right. Good to know. Good to know. Now, what do you think of Tom Matthews as Tommy Jarvis?
He's my favorite. People always say Corey Feldman, but I don't know. Like through the years, it's just kind of worn off. He's fun and he's the one who kills Jason. That's cool and all, but I don't know. There's something about the way that Tom Matthews plays it that's just he's a little more fun than like part 5 when he's mute and all
Right.
that. Like, I kind of like seeing that he's better now, and he's just a little bit cooler. Like, I just love this whole resurrection. You can see that he's still kind of dealing with everything, but
Yeah.
he's really hell bent on correcting what he's doing here right now after he.
That's it's a good point, and something that the Friday series and even the Elm Street series never really had. I mean, they did sort of was the consistency with one character that you could follow. I think that is, if you want to point to one thing that the Halloween franchise probably did right in terms of the franchise as a whole, is that there was a certain level of there was that one character that you were attached to, whether it was Dr. Loomis or whether it was Laurie. There was that one person that you could that was the heart of the franchise, for better or worse, right or wrong. There was that one constant. In Elm Street, of course, we had Nancy, and then a completely different part 2, and then Nancy came back in part 3 only to be killed, and then she wasn't in 4, 5, or 6, and then in New Nightmare, sure, but that was a meta sort of kind of approach. With Friday, it's the same thing. I mean, the first 4 Friday films are different final girls, and then 5 is a different, one as well. And then Tommy's in 4, not in really, I mean, he's at the beginning of 5, but that was sort of a throwaway thing to bridge the gap. And then he's in 6. He's the closest you get to sort of a reoccurring character in a lot of ways. And I think, maybe you need that, right? You need that anchor for the audience in a lot of ways. And I think that's one of the reasons, and I mean this, I think that's one of the reasons why people were excited to see Tom back in Vincent DeSantis' Never Hike Alone and In the Snow, wasn't just the fact that, oh, great, this is so cool. I mean, sure, in theory, you could have put any of that, the Friday alum in there, and it probably would have gotten a pop. But I think what's exciting about this is that there's untapped potential. There is this character that people really like. It's an actor who portrayed that character, and there's a certain level of, oh yeah, we wanted to see more of this. Show us more. Show us more. Do you feel the same way about that, guys, at all, or does it not matter to you in terms of Friday the 13th?
I'm trying to figure out what year this movie's supposed to be in, because how old is Tommy in this?
Oh God, don't I?
It's supposed to be
like
the
the
year
timelines.
2086, I think.
Well, it's got to
Right
be
before
like
Jason X.
it's got to be 90s, right? Because if how well no, well maybe.
Well,
Depends. Like, how old is Tommy Jarvis in part 4? Like 12, let's say.
Yeah, he's between 10 and 12.
I think this is
so-
supposed to be
and then
the
he
ni-
goes to Pinehurst in 5, and he's like, it's been like 5, 6 years or something.
Right, in part 5 it's like 5 or 6 years, and then what is this, like another couple more years? So this is early
gotta,
90s, right?
Yeah.
Give or take. Okay.
It's a parallel 1990s, yeah.
Which, in all honesty, the overall tone and look, it has a 90s feel to it.
Yeah.
So they're relatively close. I mean, the saving grace is that they filmed this on a campground, so that you don't need too much aesthetic looks to make it look like the early 90s, because
Right.
the campgrounds today pretty much look the same. Other than they've painted the outside structures of the cabins, everything is still like, all the fireplaces are still there. The kitchen, I've shared that video, how the kitchen, literally the countertops,
Yep.
everything is identical. So that, I guess that had their the fact that it takes place on the campgrounds. You don't need too many things to look like the 90s, other than the fact that like she's driving what is it? She's driving a T-Bird or a Camaro?
Something like that.
Camaro,
Something like that, which a lot of people still were in the early 90s.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess it's got that look kind of.
Back from the dead.
Amadusis? I don't know my glasses. Is that right? No, no, there's no AMA.
Amadeus?
Amadeus or
Amdusius?
no, it's Amdusius, I think. Amdusius? That's a cool name. Something like that. Loves you guys from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Well, thank you very much, Albuquerque. Feel like Larry King. Albuquerque, hello. Are you there? Hi, Larry. I just want to ask if Mr. Cornell there, if he'd like to get on with it, Albuquerque. Get on with it. Larry King. That's how he always used to answer. Albuquerque, hello. Toronto, hello. I like that. Oh!
I love that kill.
What's that Mortal Kombat character's name that does that as a fatality?
Now, wait a minute. Is this
Where he rips the heart out?
is this
Kano?
CJ Graham here?
Yes.
But then
It
it's
should
not
still be
CJ. So they must have shot this afterwards.
Yeah, because it's Dan Bradley during the daytime when he's in the woods with the paintballers and all that.
Right.
Nighttime, it's all CJ Graham. Yeah.
Okay. So
And of course, you got the James Bond like beginning
Yeah.
here.
yeah.
I like it.
It's cheesy, but it's cool.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the 80s. We weren't thinking of this shit back then.
I know, but it's
You know?
where you come from, right? You come from a serious slasher to a James Bond opening. It's like
Right?
I don't know, it changes it up. It's like, hey, it's different. It's not like
yeah.
the other ones. It's
Well, by
doing
this
something.
time, like by the mid to late 80s, these movies had ran their courses, right?
Absolutely.
And I mean, it's just now they're sort of caricatures of themselves in a lot of ways, which I think that's part of the reason why I never liked a lot of the later films was because they were too goofy to me. I always liked the films, like I said, for better or worse, I always liked taking the characters seriously. And I understand that you can only do that for so long. I mean, slasher villains, by and large, have a shelf life. You know, I mean, you can't have like an Elm Street 10 and expect people to, you know.
Yeah, you can. What are you talking about?
Yeah, shut up, McRae. Piece of
Yeah.
shit.
You can have Halloween 100.
That's right. Oh, yes. You can still
Michael
watch.
Escapes the retirement.
I will
home.
say though, I miss this time, this moment in our life because we didn't take this shit seriously and it was fun. And that's what it was meant for back then.
Yep. That truck almost looks like the truck from Halloween 4. A little bit. What does he have? Is it?
Now this is downtown Covington.
Yeah.
Where they filmed the sheriff's
But it's a
station.
soundstage though, right? Like that's
Right, the exterior.
or not a soundstage. It's in a different building than the exterior.
Correct. Yeah. All the exterior shots that you see is downtown Covington, which, fun fact, is also where Rob Zombie filmed the opening sequence to Halloween 2, where scouts walking down the road in downtown Covington. The exterior to the police station would be if we're watching Scout walking on the main street, would be to the left of her behind
Right.
the clock tower and whatnot.
Cool.
Very cool. Ya bang.
Yeah, bang.
Ya bang.
That goes.
You bang. I'm a big fan of this movie. I love it. I'm telling you right now.
It's the greatest.
It's the
Me and
greatest
Melania
Friday
watch
of all
every
time.
other Friday.
And Jason lives. He lives. It's great.
He lives forever.
You bang.
You bang.
I like how he's like, "Come on, sheriff." Now, where would you guys rank this sheriff? Do you think he's like he always struck me as
He's not a meeker and he's not a bracket.
no, but he's not a complete imbecile either. He's not incompetent, or is he? Because he always struck me as sort of a strong character.
I absolutely agree. I've always kind of thought like he's an asshole to Tommy, but
Yeah.
he's when some guy's running and going, I resurrected Jason Voorhees, you would tend to not believe him.
Sure.
And he's trying to, the whole thing is like, we're trying to forget this. We've renamed it and everything. He doesn't want this kid disturbing anything, especially his daughter and all that.
Yeah.
And he wants to protect her and keep her in check and all that. And you kind of get an idea that he's a widower. They kind of say like, oh, if your mother was still alive and all that. And
Right.
he's struggling. He's a single dad and all that. So I like that. And then even at the end, like his face off with Jason is really cool. Like
Yeah.
he stands toe to toe with him. He's going to go shoot him in the end. And then
It's also cut too. You ever see the unrated version of him
Where
getting killed? The
the
cop.
back crack, the back
Yeah.
crack. Oh yeah.
You know what? And shout out to Frank and Darren for Slaughtered Lamb. They did their best and worst of Part 6 a few days ago, and I never thought of this, but it's totally true. I think it was Frank that said that the sheriff in this film kind of looks like John Carpenter's stunt double.
That's true.
Now I'll never be able to watch this again.
It's John fucking Carpenter, I'm telling you. And then of course we got the guy here from Ghost.
Yes.
He's just
Tony-
known
Tony
as the
Goldwyn.
guy from Ghost. I don't know what his name. I forget his name.
Tony
Tony's-
Goldwyn.
It's Tony something. What is
Oh,
it?
okay.
Tony Goldwyn. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he was a character actor at that time, and in quite a few
I
things.
think this might have been one of his first movies.
Okay.
Maybe. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I like C.J. Graham's stature as Jason. I like his stature, and again, this is no disrespect when I say this. I like C.J. Graham's stature better than Kane Hodder's. I don't know what it is about Kane. I think he's just. I just don't think he's big enough. Like he's big. He's a big guy. He's ripped.
Yeah.
I just never thought he was tall enough. But Kane is great. I mean, he's not. There's nothing wrong with him. But
Yeah, he's always been good. I always liked him the most in Part 7. After that, it's always. I mean, Manhattan.
He was
Goes to
all right in
Hell,
7,
X,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I like
liked the
about
design in 7.
Dash and Gillette. Well, mostly Dash.
Mhm.
Is they're not Dash is not a big guy. When you look at Jason in Part 2, he's not a
no.
he's not a big hulking guy. That's what I
No.
liked about the character.
I would like to know their secret. Michael, Jason, they disappear for a while and then they come back
and they get
ripped.
huge.
They get huge. There's something out in the forest. I don't know what it is, but they're
They've got
It's all-
gym
all that-
trainer.
okay. There's no
Right.
way that C.J.
Doing
Graham is
pull-ups
this
in the
much taller
trees.
than Tony here. There's no way. Is C.J. Graham that much taller than Tony? I don't.
No,
he's got to
he's
be
not.
on.
Tony that
he's
short.
on something.
Is Tony-
I don't think he's that short
It's
because
Tony.
he's
Tony's
taller than-
5'1".
He's 5'1". Come on,
Well,
Jesus.
he's taller than Patrick Swayze, and Patrick Swayze's about 5'9", 5'10", right? And he was taller
I
than
don't know.
Swayze in Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he just looked like he was like Danny DeVito here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He looks like a child compared to
He
this
does.
hulking Jason.
This is the American Express thing, isn't it?
Mhm.
Don't
Don't
leave home.
leave
with-
home without
It
it.
was such a big thing back
I
then.
never got this joke as a kid because I didn't know what American Express was.
Oh, that
so
was
when they
huge
hold
for
on
us
it, I'm
growing
like,
up. Yeah.
like, why? I'm like, oh,
Right.
is it because she was gonna offer him a credit card? Like, what's he gonna do with that? It's like-
No, it was just
and then you
'cause-
get older and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the catchphrase,
Ah.
"Don't leave home without it."
yeah.
Ah. Oh yeah, right there, baby.
Do you guys have a favorite kill in this one?
In this,
Yeah.
oh, it's got to be
I would say if
Paula's.
sorry, Tony.
Even though it's Paula's, even though we don't see what happened, it's just the
Oh.
aftermath.
Yeah.
Paula, because I've done a few photos in that cabin, and when you're in that cabin and you see the amount of lack of space that they had,
Mm,
it's a very enclosed, which that's what I'm sure all campgrounds are like that.
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
going in there to stay in a 5-star resort. Well, most places.
John Carpenter.
Yep, John Carpenter, and isn't that Travolta's nephew?
Yes. Well, this is actually John Carpenter and John Travolta's stunt doubles here. I think my favorite kill would be the sheriff if we could see the whole thing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like just like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
The whole the unedited is so great, but I still always think like in the regular, it's the sound. It's
Yes.
that
Yeah.
mm.
Oh yeah.
And they still had to cut it because the MPAA was like, oh, it's too realistic and it sounds, and there's no blood. There's not a drop of blood, but it's so
And to
disturbing.
think, I bet you some of the filmmakers of these movies today are like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I was just basically, 15 years too early because 15 years later or 20 years later, they're releasing Saw movies like it's nobody's business with graphic and shit that is just like, and holy shit. I bet you, I tell you, I would be. I mean, maybe I wouldn't care because it'd be, you know, it's a product of its time, and you know, I get that. But I'd be like, fuck, man, this is nothing compared to what you see today in horror movies. I mean, look at Terrifier. I mean, Terrifier was an independent movie, and I don't think it was in the theater. I don't even know if it has an official MPA rating. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. But look at Terrifier. Look what they showed in Terrifier. My God, are you kidding me? It's nothing.
Well, like you said, the Saws and the Hostels.
Oh yeah, Saws, Hostels.
It's a product of its time. You know what I mean? The 80s, you know, we were still, look, the biggest thing that helped musicians in the 80s was the parental advisory sign.
Yeah.
And they thought that would hurt sales. That only helped them because kids would be like, well, if we see that sign, we know some swears are going to be on
that's a
this
good point.
album, so that's why we're going to. So, you know, these movies were a product of that time, so they could only go so far with it. But at the same time, though, in the 80s, you had a lot of the B horror movies that would push the boundary.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Well, they would
in the 70s they did.
Yeah, and they did, and there was a lot of those exploitative films that would try to avoid a rating.
Here comes Jason's at. Nope, not yet.
Oh.
Yeah. This is not. Who is this guy again?
I don't know.
Dan Bradley.
Dan Bradley. Was he just like a stunt guy on set or something?
Well, he was the original person that they had hired to do Jason, and then you'll see in the paintball scene when the one guy shoots him in the chest and he looks down. They said in the dailies that they saw that, and they said that Jason looks too fat.
Yeah, he does.
And they're like he was eating burgers while he was dead for how many years.
Right.
So they went and they told Dan Bradley this, and then McLaughlin had to go look for another guy. And I forget the whole story about how he found it, but he ran into CJ Graham, who was like an ex-Marine.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, you're built, you're good to go. So yeah, that's daytime. It's all Dan Bradley. And I know he's not very happy. Like, he doesn't like to talk about it. Like Crystal Lake Memories, he wanted no part of it because when they called him to get an interview, he was like, I don't want to talk about that movie. He just hung up.
Yeah,
Right.
I get it. I understand. I mean, so they must have shot all the daytime stuff first and then shot the nighttime stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's poor. Is he, I guess well.
He's an accomplished stuntman though. Apparently.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of stuff, Bradley, but.
Well, but it is true. And it's so true. It's noticeable. I remember noticing it as a kid that it looked like a different Jason. I'm surprised that, although no, I'm not. I mean, it depends on the budget, of course. But I guess they just didn't bother to reshoot that stuff. But
yeah, probably time constraints and all.
Yeah. 80s hair. So where would you rank the final girls of the franchise? Is your favorite final girl this movie?
No, Ginny from part 2 is number 1. I like Tina from part 7, New Blood. I mean, the movie's like, it really doesn't get good until the last 20 minutes, but I like Tina.
Right.
I like Trish Jarvis from part 4. She's really good. And yeah, I do like Jennifer Cook here. So I think I would put her like in the top 4 or 3.
Tony has always said to me that Trish Jarvis from part 4, if you look at her eyes, they look very similar to Tom Matthews' eyes in this movie. They almost look like they could be related.
Could you imagine if you get her back and Tom Matthews in the same movie at some point? Like, if we're ever going to get another Friday the 13th, that would be
great.
Well, if they stop acting like children in a sandbox fighting over their toys, we would get a Friday the 13th movie.
Yep.
Yeah. I wish they just.
Halloween's out there making all this money, and they're like, no, we just want to keep fighting.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that no one's, I get why we haven't gotten a Friday film. I'm shocked that we haven't gotten a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
I'm really like surprised by that. With the success of Halloween returning to the theaters, I'm happy that I know Scream's going to be coming out in about another month and a half.
Yeah, January 14th.
January, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like almost 2 months, whatever it is, month and a half, 2 months. And then we got Chainsaw, right? I keep forgetting we got a Chainsaw movie.
There is, but I don't know if it's going direct to Netflix.
I think it's
or
just
something.
direct to streaming. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, I don't think.
When you got the Chucky TV series too, which is actually doing pretty
Mhm.
well. That people are
Mhm.
saying.
Is it?
So,
I haven't really watched it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
But with the resurrection of all these characters, I'm shocked that we haven't heard like they're making an Elm Street movie, because you would
Mhm.
think, you know, with Hollywood and wanting to capitalize on, you know, money, that they would do it.
Right.
I think I'm going to do it. I've got the blades here. I think I'm going to do a Michael shot holding the Part 6 machete.
You should.
I should.
If you could recreate it with Michael, like holding an arm with the machete in it, that would be great.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
But there is something I could do. There is something I could do with a machete.
Isn't this the guy that gets shoved into the tree? Or is that
I think
another
we
guy?
already saw it. We just saw that.
We
The one
just
who
saw
got it.
that.
Oh, we
Yeah.
just saw it. Well, I'm out to
Yeah.
lunch.
We just
Yeah,
saw
no,
that,
I-
Dave.
Oh, okay.
I definitely agree with your number one final girl, Amy Steele. That's my girl.
Mhm.
And then for me, it would be Jennifer Cook, Megan, and then after that, maybe Adrienne King. I could probably give it to her. And then from there, I don't care. I really don't. I really, really don't.
Yeah, Ginny is definitely up there for me. I don't mind Chris from Part 3,
Her backstory is so weird.
but it's the
That whole thing with
backstory
Jason,
that's dumb.
it's so bizarre.
Yeah, when she
It's
gets
so
into like
bizarre.
the actual fighting, and it's all
Yeah,
right.
the chase is probably one of my favorite chase scenes in all of Friday the 13th. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it is good. And I liked Brooker as Jason as well.
Yeah,
I think Ted White and Richard Brooker, I think, are probably my favorite Jasons.
I'd agree with that.
Here it comes. Rotund Jason.
They
Yeah,
cut
yeah,
that too.
yeah, he does.
You were supposed to see the head drops too.
Yeah.
Like MPAA.
Yeah.
And if you actually look at the guy who I had cosplay for this, he looks a lot like this body type.
Right.
And then unfortunately, social media and people said some shit, and I didn't want that on my social media, and I didn't want my guy feeling bad about himself.
And can I ask why Jason has a utility belt? Where did he get the utility belt?
He stole it from that guy that he winged into the tree. When one guy's hacking up, you can kind of see this guy.
You sort of see, right? You sort of see it.
Yeah.
Ah, it's finally been answered for me. Thank you. I always found it a little strange that he had a utility belt. I was like, why?
By the way, this where he's turning, that's actually the entrance to the campgrounds.
Oh, cool.
That's
Very
where he's
cool.
driving right now. The road that they're driving on, this is the road that takes you all the way back to the campgrounds.
Right.
Yeah, you could almost tell. I've never really thought about it, but.
And now we cut to Madison Cemetery in Georgia, which is probably about a good 20 minutes away from the campgrounds.
You should totally get a truck like that, Tony.
Here. Yeah, I wish, man. Trucks like that now go for like 50, 60 grand.
Yeah, it's insane.
I mean, I would if I had the money. I would totally. I'd love to have a vintage pickup. I took pictures here. I've got a part 2 picture in mind that I want to do at this cemetery.
Oh, very cool.
Next to the Pam Voorhees tombstone that I have.
Ooh, cool.
Tommy Jarvis. John
And
Carpenter's
actually, the
arresting
railroad
Jarvis.
tracks that you see them go over is actually about midway into the cemetery. That's not even the entrance. It's about halfway through the cemetery on the other side.
Very cool. Mustaches were sexy in the 80s. Tom Selleck. And who else had a mustache? Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds, Tom Selleck. What's his name there from Tombstone? He's all in Roadhouse and
You bang.
shit. What's that guy's name?
I don't know.
I can't think of his name now, but he always had a mustache.
Has he said his line yet? You
Sam
fart.
Elliott. Thanks.
He's about to, yeah.
Here it comes. I'm turning this up for the audience.
Does he think I'm a fart head?
Oh,
Does he think I'm a fart head?
yeah.
Yes. And isn't this, Tony, this spot here where like those like seats are and everything, that's still there?
It is. Because the way I know that why they made it look like it was still the same Crystal Lake from the original movie, the distance from where the dock is to the other side of the lake is less than 30 yards. Like we've walked it. In fact, the water only goes up to about right here. You could literally walk from one side to the other and it's not going to go over unless you're under 4 feet, then yeah, you're
like the guy from Ghost.
Pretty much like Tony Goldwyn from Ghost. If he walked across it, he might drown. But so I know they try to create this illusion that the lake, and it is a big lake, but to see the openness, like I flew my drone over it to show people on Instagram like a year ago, like just to show like you have to kind of go out a little bit to where the lake begins to open up and you see how big it is. It is a big lake, but where the camp is set, it's sort of set in a cul-de-sac of the lake and it's not big at all. It's very small.
Hmm.
And there's actually a little island right across from the campground, which I've thought in my idea for doing a Friday film, continuing from part 2, that island is where Jason would live.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. As like a little hermit that, you know, people
The
don't
Jason
go out
shack built up there, yeah.
Right. I got you. I like that shot there. Truck and the sign there and everything. Now, wasn't the scene here with, is this the scene with the couple? No.
Yeah.
Is this the extra scene in California that they filmed?
Yeah, there was some scene with like a married
I think
couple
you're
or
right.
something.
Yeah, they're like engaged. It's the couple that gets impaled on the moped or whatever they're
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was filmed in Cali.
And was it Frank? I don't know if Darren or Frank are still in the chat, but I think they said that they were a real life couple too.
Oh.
I think, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
I thought I heard Frank say that. Maybe I'm completely not getting that right. I'm not entirely sure.
But I've always liked that they added this in. Because the caretaker was supposed to survive at the end because there was that whole alternate ending where he's alive and you see Jason's dad has been taking care of his grave and all that. And so when they initially released this, I think it was like Frank Mancuso Jr. was like, oh, they loved it, but you need like 3 more kills.
Right,
So
right.
They decided to kill him off here.
And this was shot in
I love
California.
that.
And I think this is also the first Friday the 13th film in the franchise that had no nudity.
Yep.
Mm.
None.
I think they realized
Much to
after
the
fact,
chagrin
like,
of-
oh shit, we don't have any nudity.
Yeah, much to the chagrin of 16-year-old boys everywhere.
Yeah.
God
Well, I mean,
damn
not
it.
that you need nudity, but you know, with Friday the 13th, that sort of went hand in hand. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
It became like, you know, you knew you were going to see some girl's chest.
Well,
or
I mean,
ass.
most
film.
slasher movies, I would say probably.
There's always at least one pair, but
Right.
not here.
It's all right. They made up for it with 5.
Oh, yeah.
There was so much in 5, they thought, we don't need to do it in 6.
That's why I've said 5 is like on script. It's the best written Friday the 13th movies because it's everything you want. Over the top kills, creative over the top kills, a lot of nudity.
Mhm.
You know, your typical Friday the 13th type characters. But you know, I get why people don't like it because it's not Jason, it's Roy Burns. It's number 4 on my list in the franchise.
Justice
You know?
for Roy.
It's worked its way up for me. Like I've I didn't like it when I was younger, and then I've grown up watching it more, and it's still one of my favorites.
Do you want to know why too? Is because right through them both. That would suck. I don't even know if that's possible. I would say that when you look at Friday the 13th Part 5, it's a pretty good, consistent. It's a Friday the 13th. The only thing that's not Friday the 13th about it is that it's not Jason Voorhees.
Yep. Right.
But if you take but it has everything else. Like it, in every sort of aspect, it feels and looks and smells like a Friday the 13th film. Like from what we've got to know from 2 and 3 and 4, and it follows the same sort of formula and the same kind of look. I mean, it's a little different here and there, but I mean, it pretty much is the same. And then it's just that it's Roy Burns. That's it.
It's
and
like
I think over the years, people have become sort of really appreciative of it because they can really find enjoyment because it actually does feel like a Friday film.
I watched it Saturday night on VHS. I popped it in.
Nice.
I have fun when I watch it, and I enjoy it.
Nice.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with good old Roy.
Nope.
Good old Roy. Enchiladas.
Enchiladas. I stood right in that doorway that's in the background.
I thought you were going to say, I thought you were talking about the doorway to the outhouse of the enchiladas.
No,
I did too.
The doorway in this cabin where they're playing cards. And Aaron stood at the opposite end of the bed trying to hide from me.
This girl, this girl here with the number 87 on her shirt, she kind of looks like she belongs in a Elm Street film.
Elm Street movie, right?
Yes. She kind of looks like she could die in an Elm Street film too.
Absolutely.
Maybe
now this is technically the back entrance to the kitchen. The kids' cabin is actually the kitchen. Or the dining area. I'm sorry. It's where they eat, the dining hall where they eat.
And
they
put
a bookshelf up to block the entryway into the kitchen. That's why you don't see it.
Right. And contrary to popular belief, I believe McLaughlin said that although some people have theorized that this girl's name is Nancy as a nod to Nancy from Elm Street, he said that it's not. He said, we just named her Nancy.
Well, because his wife at the time, her name was Nancy. I think that's who he...
Yeah. It works, but it wasn't the intention.
Yeah.
Cute kid, though. She did her job well. Look at this kid's face in the background. It's just like...
Just sitting there like, why am I here?
Yeah, like, why are you getting all the fucking attention?
Where's Michael Myers?
Exactly.
Can you imagine if there was a shot afterwards? They leave, they cut back in, and that other kid looks to Nancy and goes, "Bitch."
If I'm not mistaken, and from the Camp Crystal Lake Memories documentary, they asked her to do nude in this because they realized they had no nude, and because she had already signed the contract.
What the fuck is he doing?
She was like, no. So that's why we get the most weirdest sex scene in all of Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Listen,
it's like weird.
No man lies on the bottom and like moves that. The way he does.
He's like a wooden plank.
No, well, there's that too, Tyler. Well, but there's also the point where he's like, it's like he's dancing. Well, I guess he is, but it just looks.
I mean, really?
Oh, the Michael Myers head tilt.
Michael Myers head tilt.
The Michael Myers, love it.
He did the Myers, baby.
What's going on in there?
Yeah,
but really, dude, I mean, if that was happening to us, shit would be bent 3 times sideways.
Look at this guy. Look at him. Is he enjoying it or in pain? I don't know.
Probably in pain.
What is going on?
I'm in pain watching it.
Oh my god.
He's such a loser. I will say this though, I've always liked his death. And when the RV goes off the thing and Jason, gets on top. I've always liked that. Ever since I was a kid, I was like, this is a cool moment. It's a cool shot.
I wish I could recreate something like that, even with Sackhead Jason. Just do something like that. Like I'm hoping to find like a busted up RV flipped over one day in the backwoods of Georgia somewhere, so I can just light a bunch of fires around it and take the shot. have people on standby with fire extinguishers and just jump up on top there real quick and have the pitchfork in my hand.
It gets out of control and the whole place goes up.
Yeah, that too.
We got the shot.
We got
You're
the
running
shot.
out of there.
We got it.
I don't care.
Woo.
I don't care if I'm burning half of the Georgia
That's
forest
it.
down. I got the shot.
But did you get? That's just it. Did you get the shot?
There are some crazy mobile homes that I could possibly do something like that on. It's like small ones that are out in the middle.
Well, and yeah, I
I'm
mean,
always afraid that I'm gonna run into like a crazy ass hermit.
although the home, obviously, to get it, really cool, to have it on its side would be really cool. But even if it's not on its side, you could still have
do something.
Yeah, you can still have him on the roof. You can
Yeah.
still have him on the roof. You could have him on the roof and have somebody in the RV pretending they're driving or something. That might be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of cool.
And they're not aware that he's up there. You know what I mean?
I was going to say this actress, she was actually supposed to play Debbie Sue Voorhees' role in part 5. She
Really?
was supposed to be the one who gets the shears in the forest there. She actually had the part, and then when she heard that she had to do nudity, she wasn't so sure about it. And then she said the next day, she's like, the next day I didn't have a part, and that part then went to Debbie Sue Voorhees, who had like the largest
breasts
set in the entire franchise. Yeah,
Pretty much. I don't think it's gonna get much bigger than that.
no.
That's like literally the definition of a watermelon. I mean, really.
And I think that's the only reason.
Well, come
that
on.
She was.
This is very 80s right here. Very 80s hair.
And he'll get the Alice Cooper blast and.
I think having an RV would be cool. I mean, there's something very sort of like old man retirement. I'm traveling across the country. But fuck, man. You have a house on wheels. You have, I mean, for a family, I can see it being a bit of a pain in the ass. But if it's, I don't have any kids, right? So if it's
just you and your girl.
Yeah, exactly. I'm talking about
Absolutely.
traveling, have a fucking RV. You got everything there. Fucking let's do it. Let's do it. Got my cat in the window hanging out.
Little Alice Cooper.
Yeah. I love the Man Behind the Mask song, though. It's such a good song.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I used to have it on in my, I used to have it
I
on my
got the
Walkman
vinyl,
back in the day, and then
the single.
MP3 player. Like, if he notices that, wouldn't he be like, what the fuck is she doing in the bathroom?
Well, she's taking a dump.
That's what it is. It's so violent, the shit, that she's got to push on the door. And, it's extreme. There's that kill in Halloween Kills where look at is that makeup coming? That's cool where the face
I
goes through
love
the
that.
thing.
That's one of my favorite kills. That's such a cool effect.
There's that kill in Halloween Kills in the car when Michael Myers sticks the knife in the guy's eye. And it's actually one of my favorite kills. It looks very like a Friday the 13th kill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. He's like, I got a utility belt, bitches.
I like how he's got that blood splatter on his mask. I'm just like kind of noticing it on my full screen here, but like,
ooh, here we go. Oh, there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Fucking epic shot, though.
it's so cool.
It's great. He gets up. He's
The
like,
music
yeah.
along with it. It's
Like, if I could do something even remotely close to that, oh, God, that'd be so much fun.
Be cool. Well, dude, you don't even have to have the fire. I mean, you could just have.
he's gotta have.
I gotta
All
have
right,
fire.
all right.
He's-
But it gets out of
We're going-
control. Like the
That's
entire
all right.
RV's on fire.
That's all right. I'll just jump the other way and get off as quickly as I can. We'll get a great shot of me doing like jumping off with as it explodes.
That's
It'll
it.
look like the Bruce Willis jumping off the freaking building in Die Hard.
Well, you stick your camera on a timer, and then you toss it in the air, and it's like flailing and going. Captures like these wild shots.
Megan.
Woo! Doesn't the sheriff here, Carpenter, doesn't he go, all right, pop those cherries or something? Doesn't he say that?
He's like, hit the noise in the cherries.
Hit the no, pop the cherries. Dave. That's a whole other thing. Right? I thought he said pop.
That's a whole other Friday the 13th.
Can you imagine if he said that though? Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Deputy's just like, what?
What? The cherries, the lights, but why did you say pop? I meant, hit, pop, whatever. Oh my God. What's he reading?
A manual of
He's figuring out how to start the car. It's the owner's manual.
right. Put the key in the ignition.
Yeah, that's right. Put key in the where's key? God fucking damn it.
What's an ignition?
What's an ignition? Look at those boots. They were big in the 80s.
Absolutely, they were big in the 80s. I remember my babysitter dressing like that.
Yeah, you're
like for real.
Babysitter, sure, Tony.
Yeah, the one who introduced me to Elm Street.
Oh, okay.
She used to dress like that.
Yeah. But it's true. Like, you get attached to certain characters in movies, but they never carry over into the next film. And I think that was...
Even
I
though
don't know.
Tommy is separate, like 3 different actors, like I still always feel that I'm watching the same character. Like some movies, it doesn't work. Like what's her face, Kirsten from Nightmare 3 and 4.
Oh yeah,
like they changed the actresses from Patricia Arquette to that other one.
Dude, I didn't even know that was the same woman.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I only found out, like, literally, I was maybe 4 years ago old. When I found out that blonde at the beginning of 4 is supposed to be Patricia Arquette's character. And I was like, what? I didn't know that.
I thought we were just doing the standard thing. We're just moving on to a new group of kids. I had no idea.
Same.
No idea.
Same. Yep.
So with Tommy Jarvis, I mean, it does feel really cool just to have that kind of progression. It's like he's a kid, he's a bit of a teenager, and he seems a little bit grown up in his 20s here. So yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Now the entryway that he's walking through, the stumps are still there from the sign. The sign's not there; it's just the stumps.
Right.
And the post office, their little post office, is like to the left of him, where he's just walking past.
Mm.
I did my little. What was the song that I played to it? That the Andy Griffith. And I did like that little walk with Sackhead Jason walking into the campground.
That's
had
great.
Like a strut going on.
Bop the cherry.
Bop the cherry.
It's just so like, why would he? Oh my God.
That's a whole new different.
It's a whole different scene they cut out. You're touching evidence. Is that just his leg? It's just his leg. I love it. And his arm. It's great. Jason was hacking him up. He was too, I think. Yeah.
Are you guys a fan of like the little witty dialogue throughout this one? Like the little clever kind of stuff going on, or not really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Like it's because it's, it doesn't, it's not like, in my opinion, Halloween Kills, where there was a lot of the tone and the feeling of the film was kind of all off for me. 1 minute it's this kind of movie, next minute it's this kind of movie. I mean, Friday the 13th 6 knows exactly the kind of movie it is, and it makes no apologies for it. And but it's balanced well. You know, it's a well-paced movie. You know, the characters are not, I don't know. Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, the more I watch Friday the 13th 6, I'm not going to say the more I like it, but the more I like it, I guess. I don't mind it. You know what I mean? It wasn't one of the ones I used to go to when I was a kid, though. I always used to watch the first 4 for me. And 6 has grown on me a lot over the years. I'm just waiting for somebody to say evil dies tonight in this movie. Yeah, this girl totally looks like she could be killed by Freddy Krueger.
Want to bet she probably auditioned for one of the movies?
Maybe. Baker. I thought that said Barker.
Probably.
Baker. Who's Baker? Number 37? Troy Baker? What's she pouring out? Beer?
Soda.
Something lime.
But I noticed she's wearing suspenders underneath.
She's wearing what are her suspenders attached to?
Yeah, really.
Wait a minute. What are the suspenders? Is she just... Are they keeping her boobs up or something?
No, the sweatpants. If you notice, she cut the top. Like, that was a popular thing that the kids did back in the 80s.
So they're just keeping the sweatpants
off and rolled it.
Oh.
But I just noticed that she's got suspenders. I guess she probably cut it too much.
Right.
I mean, we did such stupid shit with our with our dress, with our
true.
clothes in the 80s. We really did. We weren't thinking at all.
There it is. Right. He was able to pick her out very, very fast. Ooh, again, the old neck turn.
It's that sound design, man. I love it in this one. It's that.
Did he pop her head right off?
Oh yeah, he took it
yeah.
off.
That's great. That's great. Oh, there's the rotary phone. Look out for Billy. He's going to be calling.
She's got Man Behind the Mask blasting in her car.
Does she really?
Yeah.
You're right.
A game. You're not going with me. I'm already responsible for causing the death.
Look, you said on the phone you needed some supplies, right?
Yeah.
Come on. I wonder if these two got together. Whatever happened? So, you know, Vince's fan films aside, whatever happened to Tommy? Do we know? Like 7? It was that was just it.
No,
this was it.
Like that's 7 should have had Tommy. They should have carried it over again. I mean, I know eventually it's going to get tired, but
yeah, I know that they kind of wanted him in Freddy versus Jason. Like, there's about 800 scripts for that went around for like 10 years, but they wanted to incorporate him into that, and they just didn't have the rights or something.
Right. That's such a great shot of Jason walking by the window with the headless girl. It's great. Speeding.
Yeah, there's no such sign like that. Speeding with question marks.
I always wondered that. I'm like, is that like?
No,
never seen it.
I think they should put up signs that say "Speed kills."
Speed kills.
God, can't you take a joke?
God, can't you take a joke?
Oh, you love it. Look at Jarvis. He's like, oh, sorry. No, you're not.
Now we're in like a teen action movie or something.
I think she's driving a Camaro, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is a Camaro.
It's a 70s Camaro.
Yeah. There's a stash. Look at that stash. It's a prerequisite if you want to be on the force.
I got the whole enchiladas.
I love it.
Fucking enchiladas in Friday the 13th.
Back-to-back appearances.
Did he just say enchiladas?
He said, I got the whole enchilada.
That's got to be
I'm not feeling so good.
Yeah. He starts throwing up all over the place. She knows how to drive a car. Looks like it's getting a little light now.
Yeah, that I was gonna say that shot a moment ago looks like early morning.
It does. Yeah, we have to keep showing her crotch, just in case you don't know where his head is. Not suggestive at all. Not at all.
Especially, it's going to be a hairy turn.
I know.
Get it? It's like, oh yeah, we got it.
It's going to be a hairy turn. Get out of the car, bitch. Imagine he says that. Imagine he said that. He's like, get your ass out of the car, bitch. Or he just blows his head off right there. Shoots him in the head.
Then credits.
Then credits. Yeah, that's it. He just blows his head. And you see his head explode. Dad, no. The man behind the mask.
Like, that's it?
That's it. That's the end of the movie? What the hell?
Some jelly looking blood there.
He hasn't even really had
Isn't this the kid?
It's the kid, yeah.
Yeah, kid's holding it. That's right. Does kind of look like jam or jelly. Right? Maybe the next Friday the 13th should have followed this kid, Nancy. You know what I mean? Like maybe Friday the 13th part 7 should have taken place like 10 years later when this kid's like 17 or something. And followed her.
She comes back to find Jason.
Yeah. I don't know. I forget how this... The kid's okay though, right? It's just the girl that dies.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't C.J. Graham say something about not wanting to kill kids or something? Was it him or?
I think Kane Hodder is. Kane Hodder.
That's
very specific about what Jason would and would not do. Like he wouldn't kill children, animals.
Right.
Stuff like that.
That's it. It was Kane Hodder. That's right.
Yeah. But I always like that about this one too, is that this is like the first one where you actually kind of have kids at the camp. Like there's the opening of the original Friday the 13th, but this one you kind of have the kids in peril because you do start to wonder. You're like, oh,
that's true.
Kill a kid, like.
And as Tony said, it's the first time we see kids at a camp in one of the Friday the 13th movies. Yeah. Cody Snyder says Dave's just wanting him to kill all the kids.
Hey man, that's why I'm glad they pulled the trigger with Michael on that.
Yeah,
Michael killed some kids in the last 2 movies, and I'm totally okay with that.
No, I want to see a massacre. Jason just send that to the MPA. There you go.
Absolutely. Kills like 30 kids.
Oh, it's vicious too.
Slaughters them. It's totally vicious.
He's got a kid on a machete. He's got a kid on a machete and just like flings him into the wall.
Stabs a kid. You know, like how Michael picks up the fireman.
Yep.
Right. He does that with a kid with one machete.
Yeah, that's it.
The kid like a pizza.
100%. Takes one kid, throws him through a window. Starts hacking. It's like, oh my God. What is going on? That'd be great.
That'd be great.
He'd cross the line. Just keeps going.
It just keeps going.
Turns into like that montage sequence in Hot Shots Part 2. You start seeing the kid kill count go up.
Right.
30 kids, 40 kids, 50 kids, 60
40
kids. He's gone ballistic. 100 kids.
He just kills kids now. He just leaves adults alone.
That's it. The adults are sitting there just watching. They can't do nothing.
Like, holy shit, what the hell is going on? Nancy. Or maybe this should have been Tina.
Nancy's probably about our age.
86. I was older. 7. Yeah. Probably.
She looks about that 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
Does she still act? Does anybody know who the actress?
I don't know. That's good. I like that. That. That's great. Yes. That's a great moment. It's
great.
I would have cut earlier. I don't think we need to see him walk away, but that's good.
I do like this though, the kind of tracking that he's like walking.
Oh, that's true.
alongside with
That's
her.
true.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't know the film as well as you, so now that I'm seeing this moment after the fact, yeah, it's cool. It's cool for sure. You're going down, bitch.
Hey, jerk. Speed skills.
Now she's walking straight out of the cafeteria. What's right in front of her now is I guess I don't know. It's an indoor thing, but it's like a steeple. Well, yeah, I guess they use it for like different type of assembly things, but it's got like 6 or 7 long benches. That's where a lot of people do Friday the 13th themed weddings. So they built that after the several years after the movie. I mean, I'm sure it's used for other things too, because I know they get a lot of Bible camps there in the summertime and whatnot. So I'm sure they use it for that reason. But I do know they also use the altars and stuff for the weddings, because in juxtapose, we're supposed to think the kid's cabin is this close to Paula's cabin. It's on the other fucking side of the campgrounds, at least 2 football fields away, minimally. Wow. It's not that close.
Isn't there a cabin? Is it coming up here or something where there's a cabin full of blood or something?
Paula's.
Paula's. Okay.
Paula's cabin. Yeah.
What if he went back? What if she went to the kids' cabin, opened the kids' cabin, and the kids were gone?
That's the one.
And it was full of blood, or all you saw were little kids' body parts.
It would have been the greatest Friday the 13th movie ever.
People in the chat room are probably going, "What the hell's with Dave wanting to
They condone children murder?"
It's because it's exactly for that reason. Holy shit! Nancy's head's on a stick.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. What happened? She says that to her. What happened, Nancy? And she's still talking? I don't know. Oh my god, you're still talking. It's really freaky. The wind blowing her hair. Is she the last to go? Of the
counselor.
Yeah, I think she is.
Kids, yeah.
It's funny. There it is. It's over.
Those trees aren't even there anymore.
No.
Because what's below it is still more counselor cabins.
Right.
Because the kid cabins are on the other side of the campground.
Right.
Near towards the water, which I thought was really odd that you've got kids more closer to the water and the counselors are up on this end of the
Right.
That's just like asking for a disaster to happen. Some poor young kid goes out and can't swim and ends up drowning, and it fucking becomes
Jason
real shit.
The real Jason.
I mean, for real.
Yeah.
And the kid cabins there, man, they're fucking tiny. I tried to do some pictures in there, couldn't do it. It's
just tiny, yeah.
Small. Yeah. And it's bunk beds.
See, like you're talking about it, now it makes me want to like visit just kind of those locations, because
well,
it's cool. It's cool to see it when you're there. Like I'm sure Dave can, verify that when he's seen where they filmed Halloween. It's cool to actually know, like, damn, you're standing where they made this shit. Like, it's pretty cool.
Oh, for sure. It is. When I first went to the Halloween locations in 2015, it was my first time. It's neat. I've been there several times since now, but going the first time, going to, the Doyle house and the Strode house and the Myers house and, the Hedge or everywhere in between. It is neat. And that area looks identical. I mean, not a lot has changed at the Halloween locations. I mean, a few things here or there, but not a whole lot. She's like, oh, yes, do it more, even though
let's get it on.
We're not supposed to do this. Just do it now. Do you kill kids?
Spank my ass, bad boy.
Are you cool?
Are you okay? Hey! Stop touching my woman.
Ass, huh?
You like her ass, do you, boy? Do you?
Turd.
Absolutely.
She should have just shot him.
Absolutely.
Blew his head off. Blood all over Tommy.
We're just killing everybody in this movie.
Yes.
Tommy's getting his head shot off. Deputy,
Yes, Tyler.
Head gone. The kids are dead.
100%, man.
The one where no one lives.
That's right.
Except Jason.
Yeah. Nobody lives. All the humans are killing each other. She should have just shot his head off. This cop's all excited because he's got a target, whatever that's, I don't know what that's called on the gun, but whatever that's called.
Yeah, and the boys' cabin that we're gonna see coming up here soon when Megan and him get to the campgrounds. That's actually an old storage facility that used to be filled with a lot of stuff throughout the years. There were some things that the counselor, that the park ranger pointed out that were furniture pieces that were in Friday the 13th, but when Sean Clark went out there recently, I guess they cleared it out. And when I went up there a couple weeks ago and I asked, I said, well, where'd you do with all the stuff? They donated it. People, they had an auction because there was a lot of vintage like furniture stuff.
Sure.
Did you see the clock tower in the background? I don't know if you saw it. That's
I did.
The same clock that's from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yeah.
That's exact. So that's Scout walking down the street at the beginning of the movie. That's what you see in the background. It's the same exact spot.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, which I was bummed because I told them, I said, you guys got my contact information. I would have totally taken something, especially from one of the furniture pieces from Friday the 13th.
You know what you should ask? You should ask, in the movie, how there's Nancy's, when she's in bed, right? And how people identify where the bed is because of that dark circle on the wall behind her head. Or something like that.
In the lunchroom, yeah.
Yeah, you should like cut that out.
So that's
a little creepy because we're talking about a kid.
No, I just mean because it's here it is.
So like this wall that he goes to where like the fireplace, like they put that up.
They
like,
put
that's
a bookshelf
not really
there because the wall that you see there, the bookshelf that you see there is actually right behind it. There's a door that's the doorway into the kitchen.
Okay.
Akeem Patterson. Hello, Akeem Patterson sends in $9.99. Says, "What's up, Dave and Tony? I love watching you guys while I'm at work. Makes the day go by fast." Well, thank you very much for sending in that super chat, Akeem. We really appreciate it. Glad you enjoy watching the show.
Well, and the reason they did that because the size, they needed the space to film where the kids are sleeping. And as I said, if you ever get to, if anyone's been to the campground and you comment in the comment section, the actual kids' cab, it's way too small. They could not do any filming in there. Right. So it makes sense that they converted the lunch room into the kids' cabin.
Yeah, that's some good adjusting. Yeah.
Why do you think Jason didn't kill her? Because he was distracted by a noise right there? Do you think if the noise didn't distract him, he would have killed her?
No.
I don't know.
I don't think he kills kids.
Yeah.
I think he can identify as, with the kid thing.
The kid thing.
Because I think Jason's still a kid at mind.
Right,
right.
They're innocent like he was.
Right.
But I did always think that he was going to kill her when I was younger. When she like looks under the bed, I was like, it's going to be one of those scary movies where she looks under and he's gone. She's like, oh, and then she stands up and then he's there and then gets her. I was like, he's gonna kill that kid, but luckily he didn't.
Yeah, I do like this kill, even though we don't see what happens to Paula. You just know shit just went real bad.
Okay, first of all, is there enough blood in one person to douse an entire cabin like that?
No. And this is the dock that I just posted other day that I was kneeling on.
Yeah.
That's the exact dock. And if you see the little lifeguard chair, if you go up the hill, it actually starts to go up the hill. That's where the kids' cabins are. The real on the campground.
Those lights that are hanging from the
they're not there.
They're not there anymore, are they?
No.
Is that a security guard?
I think that's one of the other deputies. Yeah.
Oh.
This is when he gets the arrow to the eye.
Oh, right? Yeah, baby. Arrow to the eye.
Hey, what are you doing over there?
Head to head.
Okay, that is incredible aim.
Absolutely, man.
And
Like,
they cut to the dartboard. That's the thing I love about it.
Jason's got that. Jason's got that gambit aim, man.
yeah, that was I hear what you're saying there, Tyler, with that transition of the dartboard and everything.
There's so many good kind of little transitions, like from one scene to the other. Like I always love that when Jason's on top of the RV from earlier, and like the next line is "What makes you so high and mighty?" And then when he killed Paul, and there's blood everywhere. The next thing is that guy squishing a bug. Like, it's all very fun. I've always liked that.
Yeah, for sure. David Coe sends in $4.99, says, Tyler, everyone is watching, so please be honest. Are you the one who writes Dave all his hate mail?
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yes,
him.
absolutely.
I also write Dave's hate mail too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Tony writes it.
And then Dave writes his own hate mail too.
That's right.
Too.
I sometimes send myself hate mail when I'm mad at myself.
Right. Exactly.
When there's a video I don't like of my own,
absolutely,
I send it to me. I go, you fucking
don't like
idiot.
any of them,
Idiot
so I
Dave.
just write in all the hate mail.
Nick, Gene, is it? Can't see my glasses. $1.99 says, never liked horror films till I listened to you, Dave. Oh, well, there you go. That's pretty cool. You're going down, buddy.
Now here he looks jacked.
He does.
Like, he looks jacked.
Yep.
Like he just took some roids and is like, all right, I'm good.
Jacked.
He did though. I mean, did you see him walking out?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Jacked enough to crush that guy's head. God damn.
The MPA should have left this guy the killing of the sheriff.
This is the storage facility where the kids are standing there,
Mm.
and now it's vacant.
Wow.
And actually, that's like leading towards the kids' cabin and the lake or the pond, whatever.
Mm. I wonder where all these kids are today and whether any of them are still acting or I don't know. See, I think this sheriff is, he's not Meeker, but he's not Barker.
Yeah, he can do something.
You mean he's not? he does something. You mean he's not like Deputy Doofy in Scary Movie?
Right. Exactly.
Or Dewey.
Dewey, yeah.
Or Dewey.
Oh.
You're going down, buddy. You're going down.
That mucus coming out to the crushed.
Oh, Nick says Jenny, like the girl's name for future reference. Oh, Nick Jenny. Okay. Jenny, yeah, I can see that. All right. Thanks, Nick. Here it is. The wind. It's like Halloween.
I'd always wondered why Jason hesitated in that. Like he could have, yeah. It's just
playing with him.
He's playing with him, yeah. Shoot me. Do it now.
Does he sit up?
Yeah.
He does, yeah.
It's a big jump scare.
He keeps doing it. I found this a little cheesy though when he keeps, I don't know.
It's definitely not a Michael sit up.
No, but it just seems, I don't know.
Like one time, and he gets back up, that would have been enough.
Yeah.
To do it 3.
Did he shoot him in the neck?
He got him in you could see that extra bullet hole.
Oh,
in the mask.
In the mask. Yeah.
Was that bullet hole in part 7? I wonder.
I don't know.
That's a good question.
I love how in part 8 they happen to have the Jason mask
with the axe cut.
With the axe cut, like it's like they're putting it in stores, retail like that.
Get your authentic serial killer Jason mask.
I know,
right?
like I can understand maybe having another hockey mask, but one with the gash. This is so stupid. Okay, this is like Shining level.
Absolutely.
Blood here.
But I always thought that was great that it happened to probably the most innocent of all the little teen characters there. That she got probably the most brutal that paint all over the room.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I love how the kids all hide. It's cute. It's okay, babies. I'm the Laurie Strode of this movie. It's all right.
Aren't you gonna go down the road to the Mackenzies?
Yeah, you imagine? I want you to go down to the cabin, to the Mackenzie's cabin. I want you to tell them to call the police and send them over here. What has he got? Oh, yeah, chains, right? That's it. He's going to put him at the bottom of the lake. Has anybody ever thought to maybe like lure Jason away from Crystal Lake? Like maybe...
Yeah, they did to Manhattan.
No. Well, that was by accident, though. He just wound up on a cruise ship. But I mean,
apparently, Crystal Lake is connected to the Atlantic Ocean. And
Crystal Lake is actually a canal.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Also, they lured him into space, so.
Yeah, that too.
And to Elm Street.
And to Elm Street.
Jason X, the greatest Friday movie of all time.
Their 13th films, he's going to be a cook at Hooters.
Jason takes Hooters.
It's a big stone.
That probably weighs all of like 5 pounds.
Yeah, probably. Probably styrofoam.
He's really got to sell it.
I was going to say it's probably styrofoam.
Yeah. Look at that head. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
She's giving out all kinds of head right now.
She's giving. The hit the cherries was that's long past. I completely missed it. So what were you going to be when you grew up?
That look that he gives him, he's like, what?
The fuck you talking about? A loser? I can't help but feel that Jason, this movie is like sharply dressed, you know, for Jason.
Absolutely. He's ready for Saturday night.
Well, he is. He's just like, you know, you think how he was dressed in part 2, 3, and 4. You think how he is in part 7 and there on out. He's fucking, he's sharply dressed here.
I mean, when you think about it, you got Megan, you got the girl. What's the girl's name there? The one that we think that should have been on.
Oh!
Oh yeah, the back crack.
That's my favorite.
Woo! Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was gonna say he's got some good-looking women in this movie. He's dressed to impress.
He needed to. He needed to. He needed to.
Now this is a soundstage, right? Or not someone's backyard. I'm sorry, right? Isn't that where they filmed the close-up shots?
Yeah, the close-ups when they're in the water.
Right.
It's like it's Tom McLaughlin's parents' pool or something.
Right.
Something like that.
Like this, I think it's
no. That's still on the lake.
I'm sorry. I can see the Remember, I told you it's a cul-de-sac. That's it. That's the end of it, right behind Megan. Like,
right.
It's not a big spot.
Right.
And there's no way you would see that at night. They have a light there.
Oh, for sure. I like that bust through the door. That's great.
He's gonna get him.
Yeah, kids, come on, it's over.
And like where she's going in relations to the kid cabin is like on the other side of the fucking camp. There's no way you could hear him.
Right.
See, like hearing all this, it makes me appreciate it more. Like the spacing, they really give you that idea that everything's super close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like like where he sees Tom. No, there's no way.
Yeah.
Where he's standing, you can't.
Should have killed her. Right in front of the kids. Popped off her head and handed it to Nancy.
Here you go.
And in reality, when he walks in this water, because he's taller than me, there's no way, because this water only came up to my neck and I still was standing on the bottom. And I know they tried to create the illusion that it's deep, but he would have easily walked in this, no problem.
Do you think maybe over the years the depth has changed a bit, or the rising water, and maybe depending on the time of year, maybe?
Could be.
Because he's definitely having
this is late fall when they filmed it, so I mean maybe.
Yeah.
But if the water's going to rise, it would be more in the summertime because of all the rain that we get. You see, like that's what it's like for me to walk across this lake.
Right.
There's no way. I think that at this point he's in the pool, right? Yeah, he's in the pool.
Yeah, that shot right there.
Yeah, all the close-up shots, the shot. Yeah.
Where is he? God damn it.
He comes out of the water, right? From the...
Can't remember. I think he sets the fire first.
Oh, right. It burns, 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 that ring of fire. That's right. I forgot about this. It's the ring of fire.
Tommy just starts screaming, "Let it burn."
Yeah, let it burn. Let it burn. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight.
All the kids in the cabin.
Yeah.
Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight.
He comes out on fire, too. Yeah, he comes out on fire. There he is. He's sort of on fire. Is he on fire? Maybe not. No, not there. Yeah, this stuff is, not. Yeah.
Now that's on the lake.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the wide shot there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad they didn't bring Tommy back.
Well, at least we got him back in the fan film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Vince is moving into pre-production soon on finishing that story. He's doing Never Hike Alone 2 next year.
Can't wait for that.
It's a feature-length film.
For YouTube?
Yep.
Wow, good for him.
Yeah, he was going to do it episodically, but he decided to just do it all at once and get it over with.
It's not. There's no way. It's not even that deep.
No, he's down there.
I know, but it's not even that deep. In reality, he would have just dropped to the ground and he'd still be standing there.
Right. Imagine that actually happens. They're like fighting
great.
each other, and then they realize they're like, just stand up, stand up,
You idiots.
Yeah, you fucking idiots. They stand up. It's at their ankles. What?
much.
How's that?
Jason still can't get free, but he's just stuck there. But people can see him, his little head popping out of the lake.
But I will tell you this: the theater of the mind, and it's like going in the ocean. Okay, when we all go in the ocean, you start humming the Jaws theme in your head. You start to look around like this. When we walked across the water, there is that mind thing of like, okay, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you start to think that, like, is he there? Even though you know he's not.
They should have somebody out there with a scuba tank
I agree.
under the water just to grab
Just to
people's
scare
legs.
kids.
Have you
That'd be
ever
great.
seen that thing? I don't know where exactly, but there's that little thing that's gone around where it's like somebody actually put in a lake like a little life-size Jason.
Yes.
They like have a stone and everything, and that's always been really cool. They're like,
Wasn't it
"How's going around
removed
the-"
recently or something?
Yeah, they removed it because it was like illegal or something.
Hmm.
But I always got such a kick out of that.
That's too bad because that's pretty ingenious. So can Jason breathe underwater then? I guess he can.
Of course.
He's the undead.
That is true. Oh, I remember this. Yeah, the thing goes across his neck and it's like hamburger comes out or something.
Oh, it's so gnarly.
Like imagine being able to do this all with somebody grabbing you. Here it comes. Oof. Oh.
A little shaking of the body.
Oh, what is that? Oh. That's so good. Wait, has anybody ever decapitated Jason? I don't think anybody ever has.
I don't think anyone ever has either.
Tommy came
Just
close in
just the
4.
mom.
Look at that blood.
That neck snap.
That should have been the end. Somebody needs to decapitate Jason. Just like his
the
mother.
Mom. Comes full circle.
That's right. That'll kill him. Maybe not. Unless
That's actually
his
not a
head
bad
just starts
idea.
walking around.
That really isn't a bad idea. If you wanted to like really go full circle, that would be the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Make one last movie. The 13th one would be the next one, and then just bookend it with Jason getting decapitated.
Mm-hmm. And then his head walking around with little legs.
Carrying a big machete.
That's right. Yeah, his ears are hands and they're carrying a big machete.
Yay!
Yay, you're alive. He's still out there, damn it. You're all doomed. He knows. Oh, he knows. Does the fire go out? Yeah, that's cool. I like that. The fire goes out. Wonder if they ended up getting married, these two.
Maybe Vince will answer that.
See, even though this was shot in Georgia, at least it kind of resembles the original lake.
Yeah.
Part 3 looks nothing.
No.
Looks like a lagoon.
It does.
So bad.
His eyes are going to open. There it is.
Oh.
I'm just gonna hang out here for the next year.
Yes, and there's the song. I've got it up so the audience can hear it.
You're with your baby, and you're parked alone on a summer night.
You're with your baby, and you're parked alone. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching after the fact, comment below and let us know your thoughts on this movie. Let us know where it falls in your favorite Friday the 13th films. I, myself, Tyler and Tony, the two T's, they would like to know. Now, Tyler, do you still have some time? You want to stick around for
I got all the time.
the Q&A? All right, well, let's do it. Let's jump over to the Q&A portion of the show. A super chat did come in from Gary Rangel. Sends in $2, says, Garris would have been a good Haddonfield sheriff. Oh, I see. Garris would have been a good Haddonfield. You know, I think you're right.
Yeah, he would have.
What do you guys think of that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think he would have. I think he would have been a good Haddonfield sheriff. I know there was Zach Axiola says, Dave, I'm hearing conflicting reports about the Halloween Kills extended cut, that it's just an extended ending or that it's gonna have more deleted scenes restored. Is there anything you've got info from? My understanding is that the extended edition of Halloween Kills does have the original ending, which just basically is an extension of what, it's not a different ending really. It's more, I mean it is, but it's more of an extension of what they've cut out. And also Nick Castle's cameo, which was cut from the theatrical cut, will be there either in the extended cut or in the deleted scene portion or something. And it's his scene is in the scene, his moment, his little cameo is during the scene with the couple that are flying the drone. And when the old guy goes into the bathroom and he turns on the light or whatever, Nick Castle's cameo is there. I don't know if it's before that. I think it's before that because obviously that's James Jude Courtney in that scene. I think, and I believe that is where, although we didn't see it, that is where, and whether we will or not, I don't know. I don't know if they shot it, but Michael Myers has his hand wrapped, right? Well, it's that bathroom where he got the gauze or got all that stuff from. I guess he was, he was searching through the medicine cabinet, I guess, or whatever, and that's where he was able to find it. I don't know if they shot that or not, but anyway, Nick Castle's cameo is in that bathroom, and I know that's going to be on it. But beyond that, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they have enough material. I don't know how much was left on the cutting room floor.
Well, they got that iconic scene that they filmed of Michael wanking it in Judith's room at the end.
They do have that, and I believe there's 6 more shots of. There's 6 more Evil Dies Tonights that are going to appear in the.
You gotta have those.
You gotta have those.
There's a bunch more 40 years ago tonight. All that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Somebody needs to put a montage together. 40 years ago. 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 Evil. Something like that. Cody Snyder sends in $5. Thank you, Cody. He says, great pick, Tyler. 4 and 6 are my favorite. For this community, awesome show as always. Thank you very much, Cody. Appreciate that. The J-Man's Movie Cave sends in $5 and says, slap a black and white a filter on this film. It looks fantastic. Cool. I hear it does. Before I forget, Tyler, I am going to put your links to your YouTube or your social media in the description after. But what for people to follow you? Because I don't want to forget. Where is the best place to follow you?
I mean, I have my YouTube channel. I reviewed a bunch of horror stuff for like over a year, and then I kind of took a break. I did review Halloween Kills, so there is that. But I reviewed all the Fridays, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween's, Child's Play, Scream. There's a bunch of them, so you can find those. I can put it in the chat here for you because it's a little. My screen name is so hard to spell.
No worries. Do it up, man.
Thing, so
throw it into the chat.
I can leave a link. But yeah, I'm usually on Twitter. Mostly, I do tweet a lot, so I'm usually there, and Instagram. So I do that, and
we'll throw it all into the chat.
Trying to get back into.
Yeah, I'll make sure it's in. It's not there at the moment, but after we're done here, I'll make sure to put it in there. But feel free to put your social media and your YouTube channel in the chat, and make sure you guys follow Tyler over on his channel and his social media as well. Let's see what we got here. Ryan Andrew Allen says, where does Jason Goes to Hell rank for you guys?
Number
last.
one.
Last. It's dead last.
It's my third least favorite.
Ooh, what is your least?
Jason X. I hate Jason X.
Wow.
I tried rewatching it a couple weeks ago and I couldn't do it. I got an hour in and I stopped it. I was bored out of my mind. I know people have fun with it. They're like, oh, it's campy. It's Jason in space. It's funny. And I'm just like, no. It's that. Manhattan is after that. I just find it so boring. That was the one that I almost picked for tonight. I don't know. People would have preferred that, but I wanted to watch Jason Lives. And then Jason Goes to Hell.
Wow.
Jason Goes to Hell. It's not a good Friday the 13th movie, but there's like interesting things in there that if it were a different movie, I think people would like it a little bit better, but it's still pretty. There's a lot of bad stuff in there.
Yeah, it's the last good. When I say good, I don't particularly like it, but the last watchable Friday the 13th for me is part 7. Really?
Yes,
that's where the franchise ends for me. I don't own any of the ones after it, so. And basically my ranking goes pretty much, it would go 2, 1, 6, 5, 4, 3, 7.
Yeah.
Mine would go, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I actually think I probably would. I like them in that order, and not that 6 is I know it's like 6 is your 6th favorite, but I think really it's just like 6 is a better. It's more. It doesn't feel like the earlier Friday the 13th movies. It's more polished, I think, because it's later. I just think I like the old school Friday the 13th 1 to 4. I kind of consider that the series for me, 1 to 4, and then I can have fun and watch 5 and 6.
I could always see like 6 being the final one and being totally cool with it too.
Yeah.
Like that he's just sitting at the bottom of the lake and then that's it. And there's no new blood.
But there are things to 7 that I do like.
Yeah.
I don't know. That I like that. Like, that's why I think I bought it. Like, cause it's one that I'm like, I know I will watch on occasion if I'm in the mood to watch that movie. But I'll never Manhattan, hell,
Right.
Ted. No, I won't.
Yeah. That's a rough 8 through 10 is a rough stretch.
When we get to Manhattan, it'll be rented, or hopefully I can find it for free on YouTube.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
I don't know.
part 7 got completely annihilated by the MPA as well, you know. So
It did. I would love. I don't think they have it though, but I would love to see the
Yeah.
director's cut of that.
Yeah, it's just all that grainy footage they have, like the uncut kills, which
Yeah.
sucks. It's like all that bad. They can't ever edit it back in. It's a shame because I know that the director wanted to, but they just couldn't salvage the footage.
That's it. Oh man. Oh, what do we got here? Frank Riker. Hey, Frank. Frank Riker sends in $5. Says for the sexy MFers in the chat. Thanks again, Tyler, for a great watch. For sure. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate that very much. Chester Franklin Jr. says, whose idea was it for the sound effect when Jason appears? Jason appears? Sound effect?
Like the part where he jumps out at the one cop, where he's like, "What scary man?"
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Maybe.
Elaborate on that, Chester. Yeah. Cody says his list is 4, 6, 3, and 5, and 7 interchangeable. 1, 2, 8, 9 X versus 2009. Well, he's got the whole list there.
Low.
Wow. No, I'm at 2 is up there for me. 2 is up there for me. It's all because of the dog.
Up there.
No, it's not.
Because of the dog.
It's because of the dog. It's because of the dog.
The thing that makes 2 so great is that when you watch 1 and 2, they're very complete type movies, and you do feel like you're at the same spot. You know what I mean? Like it just feels like, you know, they're very well connected. Yeah,
there's a consistency. Well, I mean, and all those films were shot like the years they came out practically. You know what I mean? I mean, they were very much, you know, 80 was almost 80 was the first one, 81 was 2, 82 was 3, and then they skipped a year and then went to 84 for being 4. But yeah, there's a continuity and feeling, you know. It's like Halloween 2 and Halloween 1, although 4 is the fan favorite in a lot of ways. I don't think they've been ever able to get, and although I think Halloween 1 is better than 2, I don't think they've ever been able to really capture the feeling of 1 as close as they got with 2. And I think that's because it was made in and around the same time. You know, it was 3 years later.
Halloween 2 feels like it's still the same night.
Right, right. Yeah, it does. It does. It does. And I don't think they've been able to really capture that Halloween feel like they did with that. But let's see here.
Still would have been interesting to see, though, had Amy Steele said yes, where this franchise would be.
It's true.
It would be a whole different. We'd be looking at a whole different franchise right now.
Yeah, because she was almost going to be that.
She was going to be the Laurie Strode,
right?
Yeah, she was going to be like in a mental asylum, and Jason was going to come after her in the third one. That was like the plan, and then she backed out.
Yeah, man, I would have liked to have seen it. I know she's retired, but maybe they could still do it.
I think in hindsight now she's probably kicking herself for it though, because she knew that could have been her run. You know.
Yeah.
I get it. She wanted to try different things, and it unfortunately didn't really work out. You know, and she's obviously definitely a fan favorite final girl. I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. 100%. 100%. We're here. There we are. Let's see here. Joseph B says that Friday Part 7 Uncut would have made money like a whole new Friday film. Sure. Yeah, it would have. Yeah, for sure. It's a different time though. Amber H says if they make a new one, they should bring Alice and Tommy back. A lot of people have said that. Like how they want Danielle Harris to come back. I'll be honest with you. I don't think when it comes to Halloween, I don't think they're going to go that route. I think they're going to.
What happened?
Oh, I was just saying that when it comes to Halloween on an official capacity, I don't think Trancas Universal would suddenly just now do a sequel to Halloween 4, like an alternate Part 5. I don't think they would do that.
No, if you're ever going to see something like that done where someone decides to do like to bring Rachel and Jamie back, it's going to be a fan film.
Yeah.
Somebody who can raise some serious cash to do it.
The thing with Friday,
you're not going to see the studios do that. No.
The thing with Friday the 13th is that, you know, and Tony and I have talked about this, is that the last Friday, although it was now 12 years ago, the production value and the look and the feel and the style of the film is still very modern. And I don't know where you go with Friday now. You know, do you remake Friday the 13th again? I mean, it's going to be a very, so what do? Do you remake the first movie? Well, I'm always open to that because I think there's a lot of potential to set the stage, you know, and you end the film kind of on that carrot, like Jason's just around the corner kind of thing, although that might be better for a series where you end like your first season that way. But I can't help but feel, what do you do with Friday the 13th? I know people have said, you know, making a Friday the 13th movie is not hard. You just put a bunch of kids at a camp and you kill people. Yes, I understand that. But it's 2021. And yes, although that first movie might make some money, might make a lot of money, who knows, because of nostalgia, you know, what is the end game here? Like, what's the goal? Like, what do we do that we haven't done already? And I just don't know what the longevity is of these series. I mean, look at Halloween Kills. I know, you know, Tony's a big fan of it, but it's, you know, whether you like Kills or don't like Kills, we all can agree, no matter what side of the fence you're on, we all can agree that all of a sudden we have a Halloween movie again that's divisive. And we're only 2 in to this new series. And here we are again with a Halloween film that suddenly is now dividing fans again. The first one didn't do that. You know, I wasn't a huge fan of the first one, but it didn't divide fans in the ways, you know, that, you know, this one has. So, you know, that goes back to my thing where, you know, I always say the more sequels you make, you know, it's just like what do we do here? And with Friday, I just don't know what the goal is for it. I mean, Tony and I talked about how cool it would be to make a movie that goes back and tells the story of Pamela, you know, and we see Jason as a child being picked on, and we see her as the cook at the camp or whatever. And, you know, but, you know, obviously there are people that don't want to see that because they don't give a fuck about her. And there are other people that say, well, we can't do that because Jason's the brand. He's the, you know, the mask. Yeah. We got to have him. And that's kind of why 2009's film was trying to have a cake, you know, it's cake and eat it too, and have both, you know, kind of we show the mom thing at the beginning, and then we show, you know, Jason without a mask, and then we show him with a mask. It's like they tried to combine, you know, it all into one movie. I don't know. What do you think, Tyler? What do you think is the right way to approach a Friday the 13th remake? Do you think we throw caution to the wind and just remake it again, or what are your thoughts?
See, with a remake, that's the thing, is you can't. People don't want to, like, I don't know, like I'm sure you would like to see it, but like you said, the brand is the hockey mask. People want to see the hockey mask. People don't want to have a Friday the 13th and it's an old lady in a sweater killing kids. They don't want that, and that won't sell. So like,
I'd love to see an old lady in a sweater killing kids.
I mean, it'd be interesting. It would just to go back to it. I think it'd be great, but like they're like, no, we gotta have the hockey mask. It's Jason Voorhees. Like, you couldn't put Sackhead Jason, which I thought was really the only good thing about the reboot, really, and then it kind of went downhill.
Yeah,
but you can't also put that on a poster either, because that's so like not the brand. I mean, with a new entry, the only thing I can tell you is that I think that Vince is on the right track with Never Hike Alone. Mm-hmm. Like, I like his approach. That I think he said that it takes place after Manhattan. Yeah, Manhattan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it picks up from there, and you don't really need to establish it, but you just kind of have that idea. So I like what he's doing with it, that there's this curse on Crystal Lake, that this ghost of Jason, that he is the death curse, and he's going to follow you around. And he's, you know, when someone comes into his territory,
right,
it's going to follow them around. So what he's doing with Never Hike Alone has been the best idea, but I don't think Hollywood can come up with anything as clever as what he's coming up with. I think they would do something generic. I think they would do what they did with the reboot. I think they'd cram in Pamela real quick. They might do the Sackhead again, and then they would jump into the hockey mask, and it would just be a regurgitated 2009 reboot, and I don't want that either.
That's my point, where it's kind of like, what do we? The only thing I can think of is that if they do what Halloween did, and they say, okay, let's pretend that these don't exist.
Yeah.
But these were good, or these are fan favorites, and let's start here. Now, the problem is that if it were me, I would probably either pick up from 6 and pretend that 7, 8, 9, and 10 don't exist.
Yeah.
Or I may even go back as far as 4 and pretend that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which would be blasphemous for some, but there's a lot of people out there that never thought they were going to negate Halloween 2 either. No, come on, they're not going to, and they did. So it's always possible to go back, to go forward. I don't know. What do you think, Tony? Like, are you still kind of like me, where you'd love to see kind of like going all the way back, or?
I'd go back to 2. I would go back to 2. I would bring it back to, I mean, look, Friday the 13th fans know the sack. Okay. So they know it. So it's not like they don't know who the character is.
Yeah.
I would do a payoff with seeing him get the hockey mask at some point.
Right.
And I would probably bring Amy Steele back as well, too, kind of like bringing Laurie Strode back, like you just said, pulling a Halloween move here. Because I do think, as far as a fan base goes, you're going to get your hardcore Friday fans out there, because 1, you got Amy Steele. 2, you are picking up from where 2 left off. And if your payoff is to lead into that look of Jason, because we've never seen Jason like that. We've never seen the flannel shirt, the coveralls, the mountain man looking hermit guy don the hockey mask. And that is a look that I would love to see, because we've seen him with the green, button down shirt, khaki pants, and, and wearing the hockey mask. Even as a photo, I've been trying to come up with a way to shoot that shot of, hermit Jason wearing the hockey mask. Because I just think that would be, creepy as hell. But I think if you pick up from where 2 left off, and retcon everything else, and again, your payoff is eventually you're going to see Jason get the hockey mask, and you have a fan favorite character like Amy Steele mixed in with a new young generation of, Friday the 13th, young characters. I think that could definitely work, because you've already piqued people's interest. Like, oh shit, you got Amy Steele back. All right. Well, what's up? Like, this is, let's see what happens,
what? I would love to see Jason with the flannel and the coverall, the
mountain man, like the hermit looking Jason.
Yeah, I'd love to see him with the hockey mask.
That would be
great.
That's a good idea. I love that idea, because you could, that's the thing, is like, people want to see the brand, the hockey mask, but with that idea, you get it. You get your mountain man part 2.
You have a moment, like if you pick up where 2 left off. So let's just say this is, the new Friday the 13th. You have a moment in the film where kind of like what they did in the reboot, but not as stupid, like in blatant, but you just have a good moment for fans to appreciate Jason, getting the hockey mask. I felt like that's where the reboot really fell short on, is that it just like, it was there, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he put it on, and that was it. There's a lot of creative ways that you can light the sack as well too, that they didn't really do. I know it sounds so Pornhub, but whatever. That you could get away with, and even you could even get away with it for one more movie if, say, you were going to do like in a 2 movie feature film,
right?
But eventually you would want to give the audience that moment. And I might even do that. I might make the audience wait just a little bit longer and not give them that payoff in the first one. Still have them where the potato sack over his head, or whatever it is a burlap sack. And then maybe in the second one, have that payoff moment with him getting the hockey mask. Because,
and you would bring back Amy Steele, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. You bring back. I mean, because what else are we gonna do that this franchise hasn't done? Well, it hasn't jumped the shark with.
Well, see, and that's it too. And what you have to ask yourself as well is, and Halloween had to do this. Halloween never went. Freddy and Jason went very campy. Halloween never went campy. I mean, there is argument to be made. Well, hang on. There, hang on. There is argument to be made. I was just going to say there is argument to be made about the whole Thorn cult and all that and campy. But I'm more talking about sort of the self-awareness, I think. When you get to Friday the 13th Part 6, and then you get to Jason goes to, New York, right? Jason takes Manhattan. And then Jason goes to hell and Jason in space. They're very, yes, Halloween got campy, but Halloween always... You believed even the dog shit part 5 and the dog shit, I believe watching it that it's these people, like it feels, it doesn't feel like the actors are self-aware. It doesn't feel like that the film is nodding to you or winking to you, even though I think the decisions are garbage. I mean, the only spot in part 5, I will say, is the cartoon noises for the police officers. That's something that you might hear in like an Elm Street later film or like a Friday the 13th campy, really kind of. Sure. Do you know what I mean? Like in Jason Takes Manhattan, maybe you hear something like that. Or so the point I'm trying to make is that you would have to ask yourself, what Friday do we want to make? Do we want to go back to the, I mean, all the Friday movies have a campiness to them to a degree because they're low budget B horror movies. But I think you know what I'm trying to say, right? So it's like, do we go back to the more self-aware Jason, like part 6, or part 8? I mean, this is the same continuity. Do we go back to the earlier films where, yeah, they're a little campy and cheesy now, but they were never, but that's because of their age, right? Because they're dated. Do we go back to taking it seriously like that? Because Freddy is up to the same thing. Freddy is faced with the same thing. When they remake A Nightmare on Elm Street, what Elm Street are we making? Are we making Freddy from 5? Or are we making Freddy from 2 or 1? And that's a very different Elm Street. And for me, I'm always going to side on I want these movies to be scary. I want them to go back to taking itself seriously. But where do you guys fall?
Oh, I agree. That's why I think they need to go back to 2.
To 2, yeah.
If you go back to 2 with even Elm Street as well too, and Friday, it's a clean slate.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you want hockey mask Jason, well, you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fucking 10 Jason versus Freddy. You got a lot of hockey mask Jason. Picking up from where 2 left off, keeping him in the burlap for a little while longer, eventually give the audience the payoff. That's something we haven't seen. It's a fresh idea. It's a new idea.
Yeah.
And it is a Jason look. It was the original Jason look. And there's a lot that you can do with that. You know what I mean? That we haven't seen before. So that's why I wouldn't pull the trigger necessarily in the first film with him getting the hockey mask. I would let the fans know that maybe this is a 2 or or a 3, whatever. Do kind of like what David Gordon Green's doing here with his trilogy. Yeah. And you will get that payoff. And when you do give the audience the payoff, you want it to be earned. You want the audience to go, there it is. You know what I mean? There's the moment, and holy shit, like it looks great. Yeah. It looks like a fucking like something out of fucking Wrong Turn. You know what I mean?
It's entirely possible. What else? We got Flick Symmetry says, I can't begin to describe how much the theater screamed when he first popped out of the bed with the sack on his head. So much fun back then. Yeah, I bet. I bet. I can totally imagine that. And that's an era too where, when we're talking about horror movies from the late 70s, early 80s, I mean, that's an era where this was, I want to say new. These were the horror movies you went to see in the theater. Not all of them, of course, but slasher movies were mainstream. They were always sort of B-movie-ish, but they were in theaters and they were making boatloads of money and winning weekend box office. I'm often asked if I think that a new slasher can be created today and have the same sort of success and long-term legendary status of Jason, Michael, Freddy, Chucky, whatever. And I'm skeptical of that. And people often point to, I often say that slasher movies are dead for all intents and purposes. And then I expand on that by saying that, because, and then of course, when I say that, people will say, yeah, but look at Halloween, look at Candyman, look at, Scream, and I'm like, yeah, but what do they all have in common? They're all already proven properties that have a built-in fan base and nostalgia.
Well, I was just going to say, I think Ghostface is probably the last iconic character that we'll probably ever
for sure.
see.
And so, yes, Halloween from 18 was and is to this day the highest grossing slasher in motion picture history, but that overperformed. It way overperformed.
What did this new one do? I didn't even pay
100
attention
and
to
something, 110 million maybe worldwide.
respectable.
Yeah, I mean, and
released
people
on streaming, too.
people could blame that on the pandemic if they want, but even if there was no pandemic and there was no streaming, I do not believe Halloween Kills was going to make $250 million at the box office. Statistically, sequels don't make as much as their predecessors. And especially when it comes to slashers. It's not impossible, but generally speaking, it just doesn't happen. And I think Halloween 18 is a better movie. So you have more rewatch and you have people, it's just a better movie overall. Having said that, I just want to say that new slasher movies today, like Terrifier or Hatchet, which is 15 years old now. But, new characters today are usually, B-movie, independent film kind of, they're not, there's not a lot of new stuff being created and I think it's because horror generally has evolved. And it's not the same as it was. In the 80s, Elm Street, Friday, those were that was horror by and large. It was what you were going to see, but now that's not what horror is generally anymore. And the slasher subgenre generally is more of the B-movie kind of thing. So I don't know if we'll ever see a slasher like Freddy or Jason that people often say, Art the Clown has become iconic, and I argue.
I know for a fact if I did an Art the Clown photo shoot, it ain't going to generate the likes that I get like with Michael or Ghostface.
Right, and this is what people have to remember is that Art the Clown is known in the horror community.
Sure.
But Michael and Jason and Freddy and Chucky and Ghostface have crossed the threshold into the pop culture zeitgeist. Yeah. It's a whole different level. It's a whole different ballgame. Art the Clown's got nothing on them.
No.
It's not even, and that's not a knock on Art the Clown. That's not a knock on Terrifier and the hard work that went into those films and the filmmaker and the character. It's not personal. We're talking objectively here. In the horror community, sure, people know who Art the Clown is. I can show Art the Clown to my girlfriend. She'd be like, I don't know what the fuck that is. I can show her a picture of Freddy and she'd go, oh, that's Freddy Krueger.
Yep.
There's a big difference.
My dad is the same way. My dad is no horror guy, but if I show him this, oh, that's Jason.
Right.
If I show him who Ghostface, that's Scream.
It's a different
he knows
level.
that stuff.
It's a different level. So it's just a different era, of horror and what slashers were and what slashers are today and where slashers sort of fit today, especially with streaming and all this kind of stuff now. So I forget where I was going with that, but I guess it was just, I don't know. I fucking forget where I was going with that.
I will say though, as far as box office
no
goes,
surprise, but
I do think the new Scream might hit that 150 mark, maybe 175. If they are truly going dark with this, and it's been 10 years, right, since the last one, 11 when this movie comes out.
10
so
years,
it'll be
11 years.
Yeah. So because of this shift in the tone that they're going with it, and if it's as dark as they're saying it's going, which I'm excited for.
Yeah.
I think it ain't going to do Halloween 2018 numbers, but I think it will do some respectable numbers. I think it landing in that 150, 175 world,
I think it will. But I think what people have to understand when I say, I don't mean, you guys, I understand that you get it, but I think what the general sort of audience has to understand, especially some of my viewers, is that again, Scream's going to do well because it's got a built-in fan. And I'm not saying it's not going to be a great movie. It could be a fucking amazing film. Who knows? But we know it's already going to do well. How well I don't.
Plus the return of the three.
Right.
The three
exactly. The real test, if you want to know where the slasher subgenre is today, the real test is not Scream, not Halloween, not Elm Street, not Friday, not Candyman, not Child's Play. That's not the test. The test is a slasher called, I don't know. It's something called like
Terrifier.
Well,
I mean,
but Terrifier didn't get, yes, true. But it's in terms of like having a big theatrical release, right?
Oh,
you would want to have like, so say there's, they make a slasher, maybe it's $10 million and it's called, I don't know, Skull Man or something, so I don't know, whatever, right? Something you might hear back in the 80s or something, right? Skull Man, and they released it and they put it in the theaters. And how well is Skull Man going to do today? Is it going to generate an audience? Are, kids today, teenagers today, into the slasher subgenre? I just don't think it's what it used to be. Halloween, the litmus test is not these recycled properties. See, slasher films are still alive. No, well, hang on a sec. You're cheating. You're using Freddy, Jason, Michael, and Chucky, of course, and Ghostface. Of course, those are going to do well because we want to relive our childhood.
There is a way you could get away with it and doing well with the young audience today. Have you seen Followed yet, Dave, or no?
It follows? Sure. Yeah.
No, not It Follows.
Oh.
Followed.
Followed?
Yeah. Have you seen that? Or have you seen Hotel Hell? Yet either?
No.
All right. Or Host. You've seen Unfriended because we watched.
I've seen Unfriended. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So if they were to make a horror movie, a slasher that made the audience think like they were watching something that was real, where it's like captured on, security footage cameras, the kills, or someone's vlogging, and filming some in that type of style where, you're catering to that YouTube type audience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it would reach Halloween, status, but for today's audience, that is something that they probably would be able to relate to, that type of a slasher genre. If you were able to figure out a way to make it believable, like a girl is, I don't know, she's sitting in her bedroom making a YouTube video on how to do a makeup tutorial, and a fucking killer pops up behind her and fucking slices her neck. You know what I mean?
Right,
like, so
right.
you're it's basically footage that's kind of acquired through all these SD cards that's compiled into a movie. It's kind of like what they did with Blair Witch. It's stealing that idea.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Found footage. But
I think found footage has still to this day, there's a lot of untapped potential in that.
There is. Mm-hmm. There really is if they do it right.
Yeah, if they do it right. Anyway. But yeah, no, I hear you.
Speaking of found footage, we do need to do the Blair Witch. We've never done that yet.
The first Blair Witch. No, I don't think we have. Yeah. I don't think we have. All right, we'll take a few more here. We'll go another. Let's see, 8:22. We'll take this thing to 8:30, and that should be good. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got? Camaro 26 says Ted White is currently 95 years old.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Well, he was up there in age when he did the movie too, right? He was like in his 40s or 50s.
He was in his 40s, yeah.
Yeah, so
no, Ted White is back. He's back. He's back.
The
man
back one more time?
That's got the cane. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna be walking with a cane, man. Shit.
Helen Park says, Dave and Tony, have you seen the Purge movies? If so, what are your thoughts on them? I've only seen the first Purge movie. I haven't seen the rest.
I have not seen the Purge. It hasn't caught my interest to sit down and watch it yet. Maybe one day I will. I just haven't really had a desire to watch it.
Gotcha.
Yet.
Zach Gaxiola says, it's been a few years since The Rise of Skywalker came out, so would you consider doing a McRae Live or Two Dudes episode sometime in December ranking the 9 main Skywalker saga films? I don't think a whole episode around something like that. I'm not against watching a Star Wars movie, but ranking
Please
all
do
of
it
them?
on McRae Live. Please.
Yeah.
Please do it on McRae Live, please.
Well, I actually, like I said, I actually like The Force Awakens. I did not like The Last Jedi at all. I thought Last Jedi was terrible, but I actually liked The Rise of Skywalker. I'm not saying The Rise of Skywalker is a good movie, but I liked it, and I think it's because of how low the bar was for me. I was able to actually I like The Rise of Skywalker. I went in and enjoyed the Rise. I went into The Rise of Skywalker the same way I went into watching Halloween Kills, the first time that I saw it.
Although I will say, even though I'm not really in the Star Wars mindset, I'm just not into it. I am. My interest is piqued with this Obi-Wan thing and Hayden coming back and how that's all going to unfold.
The only thing I don't understand about that is I was always under the impression that they never saw each other again.
I know. That's why I'm saying I'm very curious. Like, how are they going to pay this off? Because you're right. In episode 4, I was always under the impression like they haven't seen each other since the
because they're back engineering and trying to make things make sense for nostalgia reasons. That's what they're doing.
That's why I'm like, do I want to, like, I hate Disney Plus. I like hate everything Disney, but I'm like, am I going to cave and like have to?
Well, that's okay, Tony. I hate you too.
Say Disney is the fucking devil. Okay. Like Bobby Boucher's mother says, Disney is the devil.
Oh, fuck you, Tony.
They just monopolize every fucking thing out there and then they go ahead and ruin it. So yeah.
Well, Mickey doesn't like it, right, Mickey?
Mickey can suck a dick.
Suck a dick, Tony. No. Helen Park says, are you going to see the new Spider-Man movie next month? No, not me. I'm not really into Marvel movies, but I am totally going to see Ghostbusters this week. Are you seeing Ghostbusters, Tyler?
I'm not a big Ghostbusters guy. I'll be.
Just kidding.
Keep that Tyler, on tab. I'm not going either, so don't worry about it.
Well, here's the other thing: is that I've honestly never seen the original Ghostbusters ever. I know.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know, but people are always, it feels like people are shaming me like that. I haven't seen it. So
no,
like,
dude. No.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'll see it when eventually it gets to digital.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go see it.
You know what?
I know. I like the trailers.
I know somebody who I'll just say this, that apparently it's very good. And it honors the originals well, and it's right back in the spirit of the OGs. So I mean, obviously it's a third film, but it honors and pays respect very well. So I'm excited to see it.
Yeah,
I'm
glad the for are getting that. The
Ghostbusters
follow-up that's not the 2016.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way when people ask me about Marvel films or like, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, well, I'm not really into superhero movies, but you know what? I love that you're excited about it. I love that you're fucking like, I wish I could get that excited about something again.
And see, I'm excited for the Spider-Man. The original question was, are you going to go see Spider-Man? And I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it, but I can tell you that I haven't seen the last 3 movies, whatever it was like,
even I have
Scarlett
seen
Johansson. I mean like the last 3 Marvel movies they released, like Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and the Eternals. I haven't seen any of them. I watched the TV shows, but I haven't seen any of those 3. But I'm looking forward to Spider-Man because Spider-Man I grew up with, and he's my favorite superhero. So
very cool.
It's going to be really neat.
Do you think Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in this movie, or do you think it's all smoke and mirrors? And at the end of the day, Tyler, he's not going to be. I will listen. I'm not a Marvel guy. You are the expert here, Tyler. I'm going to refer to you, but I'm just going to say that a movie called wouldn't if you're going to have Andrew Garfield and well, I guess it's all about the story, but I just think a movie with these 2 characters in it, and I know you got Doctor Strange and it's the multiverse thing, but wouldn't it make sense to have like the title of the movie something else other than whatever it is when you're gonna? I don't know. There's something weird about it.
They've been going with those weird titles for these MCU Spider-Man movies, like Homecoming, Far From Home, and then this one is No Way Home or something. I forget. It's one of those. Yeah. But I mean,
they should do Home Sweet Home so that they can play Motley Crue's song.
Yeah.
Awesome. But I mean, do I think that that Garfield and Maguire are going to be in it? Probably, but I honestly don't care whether or not they are. It's like the whole internet. It's kind of annoying where people are just like, if they're not in it, I'm rioting. And it's like, well, they haven't said that they are. They haven't confirmed yes or no, but you can't put those, like, you can't think ahead of time. Like, if it's not in there, I'm going to be mad. And it's like, well, we never said that they were. So why are you going to get mad at us? But I think that they will be, but I'm not going to sit there and get mad if they're not. I'm just going to go in and try and enjoy the Spider-Man movie with a multiverse theme going on to it.
And to be fair, and I know people have said that they're lying, and maybe they are, but haven't Tom Holland and a few other people even said that no, they're not in it.
Yeah, like they pestered. I know Andrew Garfield is a big one where they keep hounding him, and he's like, "No, I'm not in the movie." I think same with Tobey Maguire. I think Tom Holland is like notorious for spoiling stuff accidentally, and he's said that like, no, they're not in it. But leaks come out, and you don't know whether they're real or they're fake. And I'm just kind of like, what happened to the days where you could like watch one trailer for a movie and go in and not know what the hell is going to happen?
Agreed.
Like I kind of miss that.
The 80s and 90s.
Yeah. And I miss that. I honestly miss that. Like I remember going to see the original Spider-Man in like 2002 or whatever it was as a kid. And I didn't know anything. I was like, I'm just going to go see a Spider-Man movie. And that's always fun. But now it's like, you have to know who's in it, who dies, who lives, where the story's going, who's going to be in it, who's the actors. And I'm not a big fan of that. So I've been trying to kind of, after Halloween Kills, I felt like the trailers kind of spoiled a little bit.
I'm so glad I didn't watch any of it.
And I've been watching, and I knew that you said you watched only the teaser. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do for ends.
That's it.
That's what I'm doing for ends, because I'm not going to do like trailer reaction. Did you notice in Halloween Ends trailer? Like I'm going to watch the teaser and probably that's it. Cause like it didn't blow the whole movie for me, but when we got that like very final trailer, it just pretty much gave away everything. And you're just kind of like,
Yeah, like Scream, I'm not going to watch anything else. Yeah. I saw what I saw, and I'm good. I don't need to see anything else. I'm good. And the movie comes out in 2 months, and that's it. Yep. I learned a valuable lesson with Halloween Kills that I think I'm going to go back to it and just keep myself with movies that I'm excited to see, know as little as possible so I can go in there and hopefully just appreciate them more rather than building this expectation because of something that I see in a trailer that, okay, now it's got to have this in it. Taking that factor out of the equation, I think is why I appreciated Halloween Kills so much. So like my genuine reaction when I realized Hawkins was alive in that opening Kills, I was like, what the fuck? He's still alive? And you all knew, because I guess he was in one of the trailers, or something or whatever. But I had no fucking clue. I thought dude was dead. You know what I mean? Like, because
they spoiled big. I mean, the whole. I mean, I don't know if we're going to the spoilers or if it matters, but
no, it doesn't matter.
I was going to say, if anybody here hasn't seen it,
it's been out for a month today.
I want somebody to be like, Tyler spoiled the movie for me. No, like Marion Chambers, her death was totally
spoiled in the trailer,
in both the trailers, because you could tell. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They because you could see her in the car, and then when they show the part where she's up on the swing and she's wearing the witch mask, like they showed that in the trailer, and you could. Any person with a brain cell could put 2 and 2 together and see that Marion Chambers is killed. Like it's
because the body hanging from the swing set had the same jacket and shirt on as Marion did. So it's kind of like, oh well, I guess that's her. I got to admit, and maybe it's just because I like to watch the world burn sometimes. I am actually hoping that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are not in this movie. Oh, there goes my light. That tells you it's over 2.5 hours. That I'm hoping they are not in this movie, so I can watch all the hysteria online.
They are gonna burn,
and I have no dog in the fight, and it's just great to watch.
Actually, Ambition 25. I don't watch television, so I wasn't getting spoiled with any Halloween commercials. Because I don't watch I don't have cable. I have apps. I have like Hulu, I have Netflix.
Same. I don't have cable.
I have what else? Hulu, Netflix. I get HBO Max now because I upgraded to the iPhone 13 with AT&T, and they gave me HBO Max for free. So I don't watch anything that has commercials. So no, I don't get spoiled.
Cool. You know what? Let's go another 5 minutes, because that'll take us right to 2.5 hours, and that's perfect in terms of the time that we've been live, because it says we've been live for 2 hours 24 minutes. So let's take it right to 2 hours and 30 minutes. All right. Let's see. People talking about Spider-Man. That's the Ambition one. Let me scroll back here.
Someone mentioned to me that I should see Mandalorian. I watched a few of the Mandalorian episodes. It was all right. I liked it for one reason and one reason only, because it's got my girl Gina Carano in it, and that's about it. And now that she's not in it, I have no desire to watch it.
Well, Well, she's not in it anymore. Rye Guy 1988 says, I think Castle should play Michael all the way in Ends and only Castle. Well, continuity.
You're gonna have to explain why Michael's shrunk.
Yeah, that wouldn't work for continuity, and unless Castle can get I actually believe that I think Castle probably could have played Michael.
He could have done it in this run.
I think he really could have. I think he could have. He wasn't the right shape, no pun intended, and just the vision for what they had. But
I love James
Stay
Jude.
Puft Michael.
Oh, he's great.
Bad.
Yeah, James Jude Courtney is terrific as Myers. I just wish they'd stop taking off his fucking mask. Just stop taking off his mask. I get why we didn't see him with his mask on at the beginning of 18. I get that. But the whole, there could have been another way to lure him. Oh, first of all, I don't even know if I would have written it that way. But if I had to write it the way they wrote it, Karen luring him out to the street, I'm like, well, can we do it? Can it be some other way than his mask? Like maybe, I don't know, she's just fucking calling him out. Like, come on, I shot you in the face. Come on, you fucking piece of shit.
I think she should have had Judith's bra in her hand.
Judith's bra.
From the 70s.
Could you imagine if she rips
takes off her
Look
own
what I
bra,
got,
throws it out
Michael.
there.
Look what I got. I got your sister's bra.
Yeah, it's like, where the hell did you get that?
Could you imagine if she ripped off that mask though and she's taunting him, and instead of chasing her, Michael shuts that front door and goes after Allison?
That would have been great.
That would have been so excellent.
He's standing there. Come on. And he just slams the door shut, and all you hear is, Mom!
Yeah.
And he kills Allison. Oh!
No!
Oh, he kills Allison.
No, I don't agree with that.
No, I know you don't. That's why I said it.
No.
Not kill Allison. Whatever you do, that girl better be standing at the end of End. If she dies, I'm going to be pissed. I will be so angry if it's Lori standing alone at the end of End.
I don't think it's going to be.
I will be so pissed.
No, I hope they both die. Not,
they're both going down.
I saw a comment the other day.
You mean Michael and Lori?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a comment the other day on one of my videos. I forget which one it was, but somebody said that they were surprised. Maybe it was. Anyways, somebody had said, I'm surprised you want Lori, or that you hate Lori so much and you want her to die in Ends. And I said, I didn't comment back, but again, this is just another example of sometimes people not understanding the nuance of what I'm saying. Is that I to be clear, I don't want Lori to die I do want her to die in Ends, actually, but I don't want her to die because I hate, Jamie Lee Curtis or something, or I hate Lori. I'm thinking of the story, and I'm thinking about sort of the coming full circle and the idea of fate and how now that's been extended. I mean, it served its purpose in the original film, but how you can extend that, and very much like my sequel concept idea video. You don't have to do it exactly like how I did it, but just the principle of it. I think it's important that they die together in some sort of fashion. I mean, really die.
Holding each other.
Not Hollywood die, really die.
Like in The Notebook.
Yes, they die like that in a chair making out. And
Absolutely. But they're not siblings anymore, so they can.
That's true. That is true. But I would like to see that. I would like to see them both die. And I mean, like, really die. But
there's no coming back.
Yes.
You know what they need to do? They should both decapitate each other.
Yes.
A double decapitation.
A double decapitation.
It'd be the first double. It'd be the first double D in a horror movie.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. Friday the 13th Part 5.
I was going to say, Friday for 13th Part 5 might disagree with that.
Friday the 13th Part 5, I think, is knocking on your door right now.
That's like double G's, man. That's not double D.
Jesus.
She's got gallons on her.
Gallons, ladies and gentlemen. Gallons.
Little Christopher Walken.
Zach Axiola says, Dave, all your issues with the film aside, did you still like Halloween Kills enough to buy the Blu-ray? Did I? Well, I haven't bought the Blu-ray yet because the film's not out yet. I will probably buy it.
I'm buying the VHS.
Buying the Betamax. I'll probably buy it.
I am. I'm gonna have to send you something after. I'm legitimately. There's a person
Oh, who's making the VHS stuff? I think I know what
me-
you're talking about. I've
Yeah,
seen it.
They've
seen it.
made me a Halloween.
Yeah.
It's on its way. It's a Halloween Kills VHS box, and it's a tape.
Yeah,
And
I've
all I
seen
have
it.
to do is put it in the VCR, and I can record Halloween Kills when I get it digitally.
That's awesome.
Onto the VHS, so I'll have a VHS version of Halloween.
That's
Kills.
awesome. That's
Not
awesome.
real VHS, but you know.
I know what
close
you mean.
enough.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I'll probably still buy it, but I'm not I don't like the movie. I like certain aspects of Halloween Kills better than most of the aspects in 18. Certain aspects, just lighting choices, certain little things. Flashback, of course, was cool to watch, but I think 18 is just a better movie. It's just better paced, structurally, script, dialogue, just a better movie. Just a better movie. Kills is kind of all over the place for me, but I'll probably still buy it just so I have it.
Probably why I love it, because I'm all over.
Yeah. No, I think the reason why you love it is because you
I
went
really
in
am.
with no expectations.
That too.
And I went in with tempered expectations. I watched all the spots and the trailers, and I think I was able to enjoy it on my first watch. People thought I was giving it rave reviews and totally, completely misunderstood what I meant. But I think I enjoyed watching Kills more on my first watch than I did 18 on my first watch, because I think I didn't have nearly the expectations. But what were you like, Tyler, on your first watch of Kills?
I was the exact same way as you. I went in because I walked out of H18 and I wasn't happy. I walked out and I remember sitting in the car opening night, and I sat there and I was like, I think I like it, but I don't think I liked it.
Right.
And so and through the years, I've watched it, rewatched it a couple times, and it's not a perfect movie, but it's not a bad movie or anything. H18, it's okay, I guess, as a Halloween sequel. So when I went into H Kills, I was like, don't overhype it, because that's what I did with H18, and I walked out of it enjoying it way more than when I walked out of for H18. I enjoyed it a lot, and on subsequent watches, I've now seen it like 3 times, I think.
Right.
And the flaws are more noticeable. But the first time I was watching it, I had so much fun with it. It was Michael, it was the kills, it was seeing some of the legacy characters come back, and I just had a good time with it. I didn't, I liked some of the characters like Big John, Little John. They didn't bother me as much as some people, and there's some neat things in there. And I just kind of like Michael's rampage, and the 1978 flashback is just like almost perfect.
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
It's so good. So really liked it. But yeah, now it's like the repetitive, like evil dies and all the screaming. And then the mob justice kind of thing is maybe a little too over. Like, it's like it hits you on the head too hard, but I still like it. A lot of people complaining about the ending. I didn't hate it. Like with the way it happens with Karen and all that, I didn't mind it. I was kind of like, oh,
I just think it was badly shot.
Yeah, it was so choppy. It's like,
it was just too stylized.
And it's going to Lori and all that. It was it was very choppy editing. So that was bad. I think what the rumors are with the extended ending, I would have preferred to see that. But I like it, and it's not. I think it's been lower on people's list of Halloween movies, but I enjoyed it, and I'll definitely get the Blu-ray and add it to the collection. So yeah,
I will say Kills. Remember, I said what I'm hoping out of Kills. I said this on one of our episodes, Dave, a few weeks back. What I wanted was from Kills is to appreciate 2018 more, and I did, because if there are 2 consistent good things that I can pull from both those films, is 1, Andy Manichak, 2, James Jude Courtney.
I agree.
Annie's her portrayal as Allison is just progressively just getting great. I mean, I really love her character. I want to see where she finishes off and ends. But as I said a few days ago on Instagram, she's moving up into like top 10 all-time horror final girls. But I'm being reserved. I want to see how it plays out with the last movie, but she's definitely top 2 favorite Halloween girls for sure. And, you can't really say anything negative other than the height. I'm not a fan of his height difference between him and Castle, because I prefer what Carpenter was doing with Nick Castle in the original film, that it doesn't need to be a big guy to have this supernatural force. And I think that's what makes the original Michael so scary.
Right.
That aside, I mean, there really is nothing you can say bad about James Jude Courtney playing Michael.
No,
I mean,
he's he's great. I like Andy Matichak too. I just wish the dialogue and the script was better in that movie.
That's not her fault.
No, it's not her fault. It's not her fault.
My God, that part where they tell him that Michael's alive and it's that cut to
her going, what?
I laughed in the theater out loud.
I did too. On first watch.
I would have, if I was directing it.
It was so staged and unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
I would have had her, as a director, I would have had her take a beat, have this kind of look of shock on her face and like maybe disbelief, and that's it. That's it. No, nothing else. Just kind of like, oh shit.
It's
like,
too.
Oh, fuck.
It was too.
What?
It was too staged. It was so over the top.
And that's not her fault. That's obviously they told her to do that.
Well, they want right. It was just awful. And the whole hospital was like that. There was so, like I said on my social media, most of the hospital stuff, everybody was acting like they knew they were in a Halloween movie, and it's like, this is just, guys, stop, take it down a notch.
That's what makes Halloween 2 so great. What I love about Halloween 2,
81,
81, sorry, is that Halloween 2 81 represents Haddonfield, the small town vibe when they're in the hospital.
Yeah.
This one, I will say in rewatch, because I watched Kills again this past week just to get some ideas for the shoot that I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't like that. It doesn't have that small town vibe. You know what I mean? The hospital's packed. Whereas in the Halloween 2 81, it's just the night shift and it's a couple of patients here and there. And that's what you would typically see in a small town, hospital like that. So they went away with that in Kills, and clearly Haddonfield is a very populated town. You know what I mean? It's not this small town anymore out in the Midwest, which is fine. I mean, that's their vision. But in a rewatch this week and just, paying attention a little bit more to the hospital scenes, I was like, not really feeling the crowd, the mob at the hospital.
The mob is brutal. It's brutal.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But when you watch it juxtaposed to Halloween 281, you realize like Halloween 281 is a really good sequel. Like,
it is. It's far. Yes. Yeah. Well, it's still my second favorite in the franchise. All right, listen. Oh, that's the wrong one.
You're offended?
I'm offended. I hit the wrong one. There we go. That's what I wanted to hit. Folks, that is going to do it for Tyler, Tony, and I here on this episode 132 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. Thanks to our great moderators, of course, Frank Riker, Tap of the Short, Darren Sands, Chris Baber, for doing what you guys do. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you to the Super Chat questions that came in. Appreciate that as well. The few non-Super Chat ones that were there, we appreciate it. Tony and I, of course, will be back next Monday night at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And any last things you guys want to say? Any last things? Tyler, Tyler, any last things you want to say?
No, just thank you so much for having me. I told you before we got on here, but I was so nervous tonight going into this, so I'm glad it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was great, man. You were solid.
My heart was racing. It was like 5 o'clock, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna blow this!" And I was so happy. I'm so glad that I was able to join you guys and talk Friday the 13th, Halloween, and all that. So just thanks so much, and thank you to everybody in the chat for questions and all that. It was a good time.
For sure, man. Listen, and thank you again, for your contribution to the film, to the campaign. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. The cast and crew and everybody thanks you. And you're an awesome dude. This is the first time we've met, obviously, but everybody's been great. And this is awesome. And don't forget to follow. I'm going to put Tyler's links in the description. So make sure you check back once it goes live. Yeah. And feel free to post a comment there or whatever too if people want to follow you. Tony, any last things you want to say?
No, man. Tyler, it was great meeting you, buddy. And this was a fun revisit of Friday the 13th Part 6. And we'll be back next week with some more bullshit.
We'll be back next week with some more bullshit. All right, folks, take care. That's going to do it. In the meantime and in between time. Oh, and Tyler, stick around because we'll have a more formal goodbye after this is all done.
Sure. Okay.
All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.